ladies and gentlemen. How's everybody doing tonight?
Stop it, Keith. This isn't your space. No, I'm just kidding. I was just waiting to see what who came up. Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
Am I coming in clear?
What's going on, Keith, man? I have not talked to you in so long.
I'm growing hair longer and longer.
You're just throwing that in my face, right? Because I'm bald. That's what this is about.
Ha ha.
Right off the bat. Damn, bro. I thought we were friends. No, I'm just kidding.
How come men go bald on their heads but not their chins? What's up with that?
Oh, wait. You mean most guys don't go bald there? Oh, shit. I need to go see a doctor. No, just kidding. I don't know. That's a good question.
I can't grow hair in either spot.
Okay, yeah, Rufus, we can hear you. Bill, check yours again.
Check. Hello. Can you hear me?
Sounds great. I can't hear you at all. Are you talking?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm talking.
I hear Bill.
I don't. Damn it, Bill.
Does that mean I got to drop out?
And come back. I heard you for a second, and then once Rufus popped up as co-host, it went away. Technical difficulties. All right, let's see if that works. It's just going to be a speaker, hopefully. Bill, see if I can... Oh, good. Hello? I can hear you now.
I'm coming in clear?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yay.
All right, everybody. Thank you for coming. We are going to let all the people who have requests and come up in like 2 seconds. I just want to start in a very cheesy way, and especially weird coming from a 35-year atheist. I just want everybody to thank God, for me personally, that all my family and friends in Florida were safe. Bill finally got his power back today, which is amazing.
I did, and thank God that we're all alive, and like just as he says, I agree.
Yeah, I know some people lost their lives, and that's horrible, and I truly feel for their families, but I am extremely grateful that everyone I know has checked in and is good, so thank you for that. It's awesome. And also, not to make it sound even more like we're at church here, but if there's any new flat earthers here tonight and you want to be acknowledged, go ahead and put your hand up, and we'll bring you up. So what's going on, Bill and Rufus?
Yo,
hey, how's that going?
If there's any honest Globers out there, we'd like to talk to you. Any of you asshole Globers who are just trying to get...
No, they can come up too. I'm feeling spicy.
All right.
Yeah, they want to get some? Come on. I've been cool to them. Actually, I've just been like, I don't know about you guys, but I've been on a mute fest. It's awesome. Like just muting all of them, and then once in a while, like I'll unmute them and be like, maybe they're saying something nice, and they're really not. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, I remember why I muted you, and I just remute them and keep going. It's awesome.
Year. That's how I live my life. That's the only way to do it, because if you read every mean comment, point in being on Twitter, man, it's just rough. It is rough. So, Keith, how the hell are you, man? Since you grabbed the mic first while we were coming in here, I have not talked to you in so long. Are you doing well?
No talk, man.
Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm making lots of root beer, like loads and loads of root beer. Lots of like wild edible stuff going on. Yeah, I want to say living the life. Today we're broke, so I said to wife, "You want to go on a husband-wifey date?" And she said, "Yeah." And we went and took a little propane one-burner stove thing and made hot chocolate by a lake in the rain. It was awesome. We sat in the back of the car, drank hot chocolate, and I got a new puppy. So yeah, life is like amazing over here. I can't complain. I got root beer and a puppy.
Of all the answers I thought I was going to get, I did not think I was going to get, I've been making tons of root beer.
Oh, no. I took down like 10 or 12 sassafras trees, like good, like 15, 20 foot tall ones, like dug the roots up with a pickaxe and processed it. And now I have like 3 gallons of root beer syrup. So I got enough root beer for a year. Well, actually, at the rate we're going, probably about a month. But yeah, we got root beer.
Damn, dude, it sounds like you're about to start your own business.
We didn't realize what we were getting into. It's our first year making it in a large amount, and we just went a little nuts. And then we had too much, and we didn't want it to go to waste, so we just like kept making it and making it. But how did you guys fare with the weather down in Florida with the hurricanes? How bad was it?
I did totally fine in very South Florida. Central Florida was worse. That's where Bill is. But down here, actually, Helene, we got worse storms than we did from. Well, there was some tornadoes here, but
Yeah, dude.
really, in my life, in my bubble, Helene was worse.
The tornadoes were insane, bro. What
I'm
do
glad
they count?
everybody's
Like
okay.
100 and something warn. I don't know if it's warnings or touch, but I don't think it was 100 like tornadoes touching down. That's ridiculous. But there was definitely like 100 and something tornado warnings.
Yeah, I remember is 44 touched down. But what's funny about that, and you and I just talked about it yesterday, Bill. Like
Correct.
literally before this hurricane, my mom was like, "What are you gonna do if a tornado comes?" And I was like, "I've lived in Florida my whole life. Tornadoes are the least of my worries. I have never seen one. I'm more worried about flooding." Fast forward 2 days, we get 44 tornadoes touching down. And that has never happened as long as I have lived here. Yes, we have some tornadoes, and we do get a lot of tornado warnings constantly.
Constantly,
But
yes.
actually touching down like that,
Nah,
never have I seen it.
Not in
Crazy.
a
And
wedge.
you guys don't have basements around there either. So there's like nowhere to
Nah, we
where
got that
I'm
whole
from,
water table thing going on.
it seems like everywhere the tornadoes hit, it's like the flattest place too. Isn't Florida like one of the flattest states?
It is.
So you're saying the whole world, right?
Oh, dude.
Everywhere.
What's up, guys? I wanted to jump in. I appreciate you bringing me up on the mic, Ted. Good to talk to you, dude. Bill, appreciate
What
the follow.
up?
Dude,
Yeah.
I've been fucking loving y'all's memes and your posts. I'm like, yes, these fucking guys get it. Hey,
Oh, what's up, man?
dude, shout out to Keith, too, because, hey, Keith, you were hosting spaces a while back talking about fucking Tartaria and shit, and I was like, oh, this motherfucker, yes, he's gonna come around, dude, he's gonna fucking learn. And, dude, lo and behold, like, now you've been jumping in flat earth spaces. So shout out to you, bro. Fucking right. To the guys in Florida, much love. I'm in fucking South Louisiana. We get smacked and fucked up all the time, just as much. And bro, I'm telling you, like tornadoes, hurricanes. Why have these things only recently existed in the 150, 180 year period? Right? We heard about floods. We knew about that, quote unquote, biblical, scriptures, right? But dude, these fucking modern day storms, bro. And hey, look, I got people in North Carolina that are, thank God, they're fine. But dude, just a fucking stone's throw away. It's literally fucking Pompeii up there. It's fucked up. And it's like, again, the loss of life, like, so sorry for that. Not a good thing. Hate to see it, but thank God y'all are good and y'all were spared. And we got hit with a little. Yeah, we got hit with Francine. Does anyone fucking care? Who the fuck is Francine, dude? Like, fuck her, dude. We forgot about her already. Bye. So, like, yeah, dude. Glad that y'all are all here. I appreciate you bringing me up on the mic. And one thing I will drop is the latest proof for me, the Mariner's compass. The Mariner's fucking compass. Boats, ships have been using this thing for hundreds of years, and you got to lay it on a flat surface. And is the magnetism is the magnets are is the magnetic north going to like pull the compass down to your feet like when you're at Antarctica? Like, dude, it's wild. So been looking into that. Everything is a fucking lie. The timeline, the history, it's all fucking complete fabrication. some major cataclysmic event happened 180 years, 200 years ago. Tartaria was stolen. They stole the ether from us. I think there's fucking smart dwelling, like advanced civilizations below us in the shoal or the shell, you know. And then there's absolutely a fucking advanced civilization, advanced humans or advanced beings in the sky. Armenian sex parties and castles in the sky. I mean, dude, so many bands have told us there is a fountain, you know, not made by the hands of man. Okay, these fucking bands, they have said some shit to us, and bro, it's like, okay, you start thinking about lands beyond the ice wall. It all makes a ton of fucking sense, bro. Like they have a couple inlets and outlets where they can control the water. And then, like, what's the device that comes up and out of the water? What's the rising phoenix? Then you look into like melted cities. You look at Sturgis, South Dakota. You look at some of these places in Sedona, Arizona, and you're like, oh my god. So anyway, that's my initial shill. I love all of it. I'm a huge believer in all of it. I live in a world full of NPCs, and you know, unfortunately, I got to go around, like, I can't wake up everybody every day. I am an operator in the Matrix. I fucking slip in. I insert myself. I fucking scam the system, and I fucking get out. You know, and I'm like, shit, the fucking real world is kind of cold. It's a little lonely. It's a little dark. And like, I got a couple people that I fucking latch onto for just a little bit of support. And they're all mostly internet based. The folks that I have awoken in the real world, they're you know, they don't want to hear all of it, but some of them are kind of starting to open their ears a little bit. You know, you get them with the food, you get them with the you know, processed everything, the hydraulic fluid that everything is cooked in. You get them with the, you know, get back to cotton and linen. You know, purify your water source. A lot of stuff. So some of them are waking up, but anyway, appreciate the opportunity to sit here and chill. I know Orwellian's got his hand up, but good to be here with you guys.
V3, that was awesome, dude. The energy, I needed that. A little pick me up.
Right, my bro.
Yes, sir, man. Thanks for coming out, dude, and representing. Yo, we got so many peeps in here.
Yeah, I know Orwellian had his hand up, but I think Echo grabbed the mic next. I mean, first, before anybody else. He was right in here. So if he wants to say something real quick, I want to let him, because I feel bad because he had the mic first before we did any of this.
Hell yeah, let's go, Echo.
Oh, that's awful nice of you. I appreciate it. Not much. What it sounds like, what V3 is referring to is the Phoenix event and the Nemesis, which happens about every 140 years, I believe. I just wanted to let everyone know there's a great humanitarian effort that's getting ready to start. There's another individual that's in the space that is involved in this with me. It's going to be world changing, and it's going to be worldwide. And so I can't go into too much detail about it. I'm restricted from doing so at this time, but things are definitely looking up, y'all. There's some incredible things on the horizon, and I'll share more as soon as I can.
Hold on, dude. What is that? Echo, come on, man.
Talk about leaving us hanging.
Yeah, dude. Like you, I'm on the edge of my seat here.
Man. Come with the goods.
Don't give me fucking hope, bro. Don't tell me there's a bunch of fucking special operators out there taking out the fucking evil.
By the way, y'all got to go check out Echo's TikTok if you guys are on there, man. It's dope, dude. He's like one-on-one with it, and he's putting in work, and I love it.
I'm so bad at TikTok. I got to get better. And Twitter's glitching bad because that Game of Thrones, it just says connecting, and there's just a wheel. The wheel's just going around.
Wheel in the sky.
I'm here. That's weird. I'm here.
Us?
Right.
For us? No way.
So, hey, game. I can hear you, but I don't think those guys can. So drop down and have them pull you back up real quick. I definitely want to talk to you.
I'll do Orwellian. Thank you, man.
Oh, yeah, I can't hear him at all on my screen.
Yeah, he came in for like a
second. It shows he's not even connected.
Yeah, sorry if I was over talking there. or if I did, speaking over someone.
Sounds like we're ignoring you, talking over you. Chances are it's because we can't hear you. Because I try not to talk over people.
Yeah, 100%. We'll help out the host and the co-host too when that stuff happens. That's anybody that moderates spaces or holds them kind of gets that. What's up, guys? Fuck, Bill, Ted, Rufus, man, I'm stoked. It's been a minute, and shit, you got V3 and Keith fucking popping the cork on this party, bro. I was like, oh, we're having
We
fun.
fucking
Hell
live,
yeah.
bro.
So let's go, man. Let's keep that energy up. I'm all about that. I'm with that. Keith, brother, it's been a minute. I have some things I'm gonna send you from that book of mine. So just pay attention to your DMs. It's gonna come, and we can probably have another side chat about that. But man, dude, you guys survived a seeded hurricane, North Carolina. And I won't go too far into this, but holy shit, dude. Like, absolutely none of those people were prepared for that or ever have had to be in their entire history, dude. They're trying to take out the Appalachians, bro. The mountain men are the ones that people need to worry about if anybody decided they wanted to fuck with us, right? Those are the guys. You don't want to play with them people, right? And they just washed them out to sea. So crazy, crazy stuff's been going on, man. I'm glad you guys are okay. Shout out to you guys for holding it down while it was happening. I know some of you guys lost power, like just absolutely wild, dude. But I'm happy, and I was saying prayers for you guys that you guys are good.
Thank you, man. Thank you, dude.
Yeah.
I had a crackhead come in my yard, bro. He was trying to take my generator. Like, shit gets real.
Oh yeah, well
Florida
I'm not
man.
surprised. I'm not surprised at all by that. Here's the deal, man. When shit like that happens, and one of the things that's not occurring right now with regards to just North Carolina and that was Helene, correct? Is they're not going to televise the carnage. People will start turning on each other. They will start fucking eating each other after about 72 hours and not having food and supplies. Like it's that cut and dry. So I mean, having a crackhead in your yard, bro, that thank God it was just
Which
that.
we kind of get him anyway, but it was just like not giving a damn. This time he just walked up in there and like he was acting like he was getting chased when I caught him, and it was so funny because if you guys got to go check out the podcast. It's real short and sweet, but I was telling the story anyway. But I'll tell it again real quick. And I just jumped. He like jumps the fence, but it's a chain link fence, and he like tried to hide behind it. And I was like, dude, I totally fucking see you, bro. And then like he jumped into the neighbor's one. And then he just like kept pointing like he was getting chased by somebody, and then he just took off and ran across the street. But this was like 6:45 in the morning. Like, and it's like, really?
That's probably the most pleasant like crackhead experience story I've ever heard.
He was he was
good for you, dude. Like, yeah,
right.
I usually have to turn people down. Like, no, I ain't got nothing, bro. I got no money. I got no cash on me, bro. Like, I'm sorry.
I'm about to roll up a newspaper and swat you. Get off my lawn, dude. That's hilarious the way you laid that out. Like, we usually get them like they're squirrels, because I usually get some squirrels. This time of year, the leaves are falling off the trees. They get a little aggressive. They start fighting each other over acorns. Like, yeah, I guess you can apply that to crackheads too. We get some crackheads here in Minneapolis too, brother.
Bro, I've seen the crackheads, bro. I've been there. I've seen them. But hey, look, I don't see them in my backyard. No, sir.
Yeah, that was a little shocker, especially 6:45 in the morning. I'm sitting there, trying to go to work, and he just comes walking in. And I'm like, what in the world, dude?
Yeah.
Dude, if there's one thing crackheads are there early.
Oh, they're hustlers. They're hustlers.
Oh, you want to talk about early bird gets the worm?
Dude.
They had to start stealing a lot more shit. Anything that's not bolted down now that nobody has any cash to hand out to them anymore.
Bro, I seen one with a fridge strapped on his back. A full fridge. That man, they're resilient, man.
Hey, they're crazy too because we hoist our generators up on these cranes on these big ass job sites where I'm building these bridges, and we had a dude try to climb the lattice boom, and he unalived himself trying to get a generator. I don't know what his line of thinking was. Like, I'm just gonna unhook it and like who knows? Like, but yeah, he didn't see that through.
He was searching for the new high, man.
Well, he certainly found it, and then the new low.
Dude, going back to what you were saying about the hurricane or Orwellian, you know, we remember on the news when they were showing us that it turned into the category 5, and I feel like it was a category 5 right above like the Yucatan Peninsula right there, and I was like, what the fuck, these guys have got to be getting crushed right now. And literally you have not heard anything about that. I haven't seen anything
That's
about
very true.
that.
That's
That could
very
be like
true.
the real purpose of it. They were trying to destroy that area, and then they're distracting everyone with it. Oh, it's coming towards Florida, everyone's fucked. But I'd like to see what went down over there, because that's a high population area too, you know, tourist area, but I bet it got fucked up.
Ted and I have a little bit of a take on that, and it's more of an economic. I mean, my version of it is more of an economic take on it, and just you guys got to see the podcast and the way Ted lays out the interview with DeSantis and stuff like this. It kind of lines up, man. But you know, these things are they're like economic boosters. You know what I mean? For states and all that, and companies too, but mostly the state involved companies and the ones that are funded. That's just how it goes.
Oh, the ones that get contracts to go in there and
correct.
Thing,
right. All the yeah. Damn.
Yeah, I just put my hand back up.
So many
cleaning that. Yeah.
I just wanted to finish on that, and then I'll land, and we can move around. But yeah, with regards to that, man, I've got a different take on it too. When you displace that many people in the Yucatan Peninsula, where are they going to go? This is literally controlled demolition of the country that we live in, and we're witnessing it in real time. It's been going on for a while. Once the NGOs, which are still operating but kind of got identified and got a little bit of heat, started, well, I don't know, people started noticing, right? Oh, that's weird. Don't say noticing. I don't want nuclear space. But yeah, man, people started noticing that. And then you see, in my opinion, controlled weather events like this that displace mass amounts of people. Well, what are we focused on? What happened domestically? But what was brought up, dude, the Yucatan Peninsula, I've seen footage of that. It's carnage. That place is absolutely wiped out, and anybody that's there will not have anything to go back to. So they're going to have to come somewhere. So I guess, I don't know, we're going to write some more checks for people in another location that, well, I don't know. They don't vote here. They don't pay taxes here, but we do, right? Because we have to. And yeah, they're going to get that money. So that's my take on that, man. This has been going on for a while. Directed energy weapons work both ways, man. They can steer storms and they can light fires. And ironically, the trees are still standing, but all the homes get burned to the ground. So nothing to see here, people. I'm going to land the conspiracy plane right there for a minute. So
I was gonna say, bro, whoa.
Yeah. No. Lithium deposits in the trillions of dollars in North Carolina, along with quartz.
And they don't
Quartz
have
being
flood
used
insurance.
Quartz
Yeah.
is being used for AI tech, because apparently quartz is a higher transistor, or has higher, electron conversion, whatever the technical term is. I'm not a tech guy, but conductivity. Thank you. Yeah, it's more powerful from a conductive perspective.
Yeah, and ironically, people that would never have to have flood insurance or carry it
are fucking buried in mud right now. Fucking Pompeii, dude.
Yep, that land grab, Lahaina, Maui. Everybody forgot about Maui. That was another land grab. That was their first 15-minute city.
How convenient did we just forget about that too, bro? It's like I'm kind of nervous about some of that shit. I'm also like we're massively distracted by everything with give them bread, give them circus, they'll never evolve. All my fucking friends want to talk about is the next fucking football game. How's their fantasy team doing? What players doing this? What fucking installed actors doing that? Like these false gods that they fucking throw down our throats, and then this bullshit with the election. Oh my god, dude. I'm just like, bro, either end the world, please, collapse us, or rolling blackouts, please. Let's get on with it. Or let's go into a massive bull run. Fucking kick the can, bro. Please kick the can. Just give us something. It's like I'm on the edge of my seat because I'm like, bro, 4 years ago, during that last election, I was dead ass asleep, bro. I was still using fluoride toothpaste like a fucking pleb. Okay? Like, once I stopped using fluoride, someone was like, yo, stop using fluoride. Oh, yeah, that calcifies your pineal gland. I'm like, what? I'm like, okay. I start doing, oh my God, bro. The fucking veil, the curtain just lifted.
Yeah, sorry, man.
So like, you know, I wasn't really like, I mean, I knew some bullshit had happened, but I mean, again, like I said, I was a pleb. I was still a rec pleb, thinking that the system was real, you know. So I'm newer to the whole like, you know, and it's all tied to flat Earth, bro. It's every other lie is perpetrated by the biggest lie. They want you, they get you at a tender age of 7 and 8 years old, and the Rockefeller education system indoctrinates you, and they did it to your parents, and they tried to do it to your parents, but they couldn't. The tech wasn't there, so they decided to fucking 1913 Federal Reserve Act, boom, World War One, and then the rest is fucking, you know, his story throughout, you know, the latest timeline, you know. No lie, was there a lot of accounts of war and all these pictures? No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Was it exactly what they told us? No, there was some other shit going on, and it's all fucking tied together. But the long and short of it is, all of our friends and family and people, everyone we've ever known, have all believed the same thing. And when you have an emotional belief system that is to your core, you know, of what you and all of your surroundings have been taught and have told you your entire life, it is unbelievably difficult to break away from that and to start accepting new information and logic and using your mind to apply your own thought process, right? And that is impossible to do with the fluoride in the toothpaste, the fluoride in the water supply, the toxic heavy metals and chemicals that we breathe and that we eat and that we sleep in and that we shower in, our clothes are washed in. It's this repetitive cycle of toxins and chemicals and endocrine disruptors and all of this shit. And if none of that gets you, then they're going to get you with the indoctrination and the media and the narrative and the timeline, right? So it's like you can't win and you just have to start decalcifying yourself, decalcifying your pineal gland. You have to start grounding with the energy in the earth. You have to go outside and get the sun. And even though Ezekiel's wheel and the whole like plasma wheel in front of the sun, it may not be our real sun. We might be getting cooked under some fucking microwave machine, but I don't want to go too. I mean, that's another hole we can rabbit hole we can go down. But the idea is that like you have to basically become your own, you know, everything. You have to find the truth and uncover the facts, and then verify it, validate it with credible sources of information. If you can, get out of the Google world, and you have to like go to the offshoot channels, and then socially validate it with Twitter Spaces, which is my personal like that's my validation, because I'm like, I'll get on the fucking mic, I'll say some shit, and someone will be like, no, you're absolutely wrong, sir. And I'll be like, oh fuck, it's like that. And they're like, yes. And I'm like, fuck, dude, you're telling me cathedral cathode rails, they're cathode rails, they fucking harnessed energy? Yes, they were fucking buried. Most of them were destroyed. If it wasn't World War One, it was World War Two. All the bells were taken down, the reptiles took over, and here we are in this fantasy simulated matrix. Like, so it's fucking crazy, dude. And like, we are on a house of cards, my brothers and sisters. We are literally on fucking toothpicks from a economic standpoint, a societal perspective. We're in shit, dude. We are in deep. And I'm like, bro, bring it on. Bring on the course correction. Bring on the fucking, you know, the major event. Or don't kick the can. Give me a nice fat bull run, you know, for a new 4-year, maybe best case 8-year period. But I just don't see how the lies continue. I don't see I see the speed of information and the awakening happening faster than the lies can be created, right? So like they're running out of time.
They are, and dude, it's insanity. It's so much to try to think about, and you're gonna go crazy just trying to sort it all out, man. Honestly.
100%.
But I think most of us here can agree that, like you said before, when you started it out with flat Earth, is a keystone, man. It is the main one. Everything can fall underneath it, and I think that's a lot of the reason why we're here. We all know what's up. We are all on different levels, right? Like we battle this war at different levels, and we go up against, you know, other people in different mentalities and different ways of attacking this thing, right? But we're all in the same situation with the same end goal, And that's just to get the truth out, to destroy the lie and get the truth out. However possible.
Agreed.
You know? And dude, I want to say I want to give shout outs to TM, Ken, Band Notice. I see Levelheads deep in this. Brian Sweet, Liliana, Orwellian. We're getting Orwellian. I know that coming up. Ted will take over here in a second. I'm just giving shout out Timbo, the conspiracy theorist. I mean, I could go down the line here. It's kind of weird, like the way I could see things. I can't really see who's talking sometimes and stuff like that. So if I get it wrong, please bear with me. But yeah, it's good to see everybody. Xavier, all you guys.
For real, man. It's excellent that everybody's here. And Liliana's had her hand up for a while. So what's going on, Liliana?
Hey, there's never any hurry. I don't mind waiting, just so you guys know. Listen, I'm so glad that you guys are safe. You guys have been continuously in my prayers. There's so many wonderful flat earthers in Florida, and I used to live in Florida. I love Florida. I wish I could move back over there. Maybe someday if I move back, you guys can help me find a decent place to live in or something. Anyways, yeah, so I was just so happy that everything's okay with you guys. You know, a couple of months ago, something has shifted for me, and I feel like the light, like the sun's first rays have started to shine, and it still looks dark, and it still looks like it's kind of night, but I feel like something is dawning, like the age of truth is dawning, because there's a really, really tangible, palpable feeling of something has changed for the better. Like I feel that. So I knew that you guys were going to be safe. But you know, having having said that, I still kept you all in my prayers, because I keep you all in my prayers anyway, because I feel that everyone here is really precious, because everyone here is doing whatever the heck they can to push truth forward. And so each one of you is really, really precious, you know. And you four, you podcast guys, Ted and Bill and Rufus and Def, you know, your role is really important. I mean, honestly, like I see you guys becoming a very, very powerful talk show in the future. And I'll tell you, when people start waking up for real, they will see that all these people, you know, all these famous people on the big channels, the talk show people, I don't even know all their names, but I can't even remember all their names right now. But you know who I'm talking about, those guys in the evening think they're so cool and all that stuff. They're going to be seen for what they are, because the sun is going to come out and everyone's going to be revealed. Because, you know, so far it's been like this dark nightclub with the nice little disco lights and people all like moving around in the dark, you know, trying to look all glamorous and nice. And we can't really see them because it's all dark and the music's loud, you know. But now the sun's coming out and it's from a nightclub, it's turning into an open big field, and everything's going to be revealed, you know. So I just want to remind the four of you that you are an incredible, beautiful, wonderful talk show. I think of you as a talk show. I don't know. You guys bring fantastic guests. And I know, Ted, you know, sometimes you say you're nervous or this or that, but honestly, you four have an incredible synergy, and you should have no reason not to be completely confident, because you guys are excellent. You guys, I don't even think you guys know how good you are. You're really good. And the four of you have a great synergy. And I love your show. I'm a little bit behind. I need to watch some more, but I got all these problems with, I have to be wired. It's a long story. I don't have Wi-Fi, et cetera, et cetera. So it's like the only time I can watch is in my room, plugged into the wire. So sometimes it's just hard, because otherwise I'd be, you know, on a walk or something, just listening to the podcast or whatnot. But yeah, I just wanted to come in and reinforce and tell you guys that your role is really important. So do not give up on your show. Keep it going. And I see it having a really bright future. And, you know, I think one of the reasons that I really love you guys' show and love you guys is that I see you guys are so committed to pushing and promoting flat earth knowledge. Like all four of you are constantly putting out great memes and reposting like articles and whatnot. And I think that's really important because I'll tell you what, for a person like me that, doesn't really have all the time to like go into long videos or long um, articles to read or something, like for me in the beginning, memes were really important to hook me into the whole flat earth world. And now, I make the time because it's important and I want to learn. But I think for people that are still on the fence, like I was 2, 3, 4 years ago or whatever, memes are really important. So never ever underestimate the power of memes. I think memes are fantastic. But yeah, that's basically what I wanted to say. And I definitely feel something has shifted, and as they say, the darkest is right before dawn. So I think that we're gonna probably see some crazy stuff going down before it really becomes obvious that the light is out. And also, I think that we're all going to be put through like the Job moment, our own private Job moment. Because who did God test, right? Because Satan was like, oh, Job's got a good life, he's got a lovely wife, lovely family, da 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 da. And so, of course, he loves you and praises you because everything's hunky dory. Give him some trials and tribulations, and let's see if he still has the same attitude towards you, right? That was the devil's, Satan's challenge. And Job proved it. He passed the test. And so I think no matter what happens, we just have to know that God will give us the strength to go through whatever challenges come our way. And how do we know what we're made of unless we go through the challenges? How do we know we pass the test unless we take the test, right? So I'm so glad that we have each other to turn to and to draw strength from, and to just go to. And everyone here has been so gracious to me. I just see you guys as men the way that God made you. I mean, and the women too. There's sadly there's not a whole lot of women that I see on spaces that that actually talk and stuff. But all you guys, I mean, like I used to always think guys as being jerks, for the most part. But you guys have proven to me that there's still good guys out there. And I'm really happy about that. And, to be honest, to be intellectually honest, to be committed to truth, to be bold enough to be an independent thinker and a critical thinker, to own up to a mistake, to be open to learning. All these are all signs of strength. These are all signs of somebody that says, hey, you know what? I think highly of myself. And so I will always stand in truth and in ethics and in righteousness. So thank you for being what you guys are. I'm so grateful that God brought me to this community. And God bless you all. And you four podcast boys, just keep the good work up. I love your show so much. And you guys bring fantastic guests, and you guys have a great sense of humor. And you know what? One of the qualities of God is to have a sense of humor. I think that actually is like one of his foremost qualities. So when you have a good sense of humor, you literally you're channeling God. Because look, if God didn't have a good sense of humor, you think he'd make these birds that do crazy little mating dances for their partners? Like the bird hen is just sitting there looking at this male like he's nuts, but he's just going there doing this beautiful mating dance like a crazy little bird, making nests for her and all that. It's so cute. And he had to have a good sense of humor to make monkeys. Have you ever seen monkeys in action? I mean, yeah. So God has a great sense of humor. And I'll tell you something, any facts and figures and things like that, they always stay in the memory better when it's somehow connected to humor. Like think about the commercials you remember. I bet you the ones you remember from the past are the ones that were funny. Because that's how I feel, so humor is really important. And the four of you just are blessed with the great sense of humor. So I think that you guys make a great synergy. So anyways, love you guys. Don't want to praise you guys too much. Just keep working, you bums. Okay, love you guys. Bye.
Yes.
Keith, check your DMs.
That was amazing. Liliana, if I didn't love you before, your optimism is inspiring. It's just unbelievably inspiring. I love it. And I'm sorry if I talked over you earlier. You are showing as a listener, so I apologize. Game of Thrones, I know you had your hand up.
No, sorry,
I'm re-
V3. Sorry, one quick thing. V3, we needed to hear what you said, so don't feel bad about it. I accept everybody just the way they are, because as I said, it might get darker before it gets light. And if it gets darker, it's not going to just last for 3 days. It may last for 3 years. But we have each other, and we can check in with each other. And nothing is going to come our way that we won't be able to handle. Because if we're anchored in truth and committed to truth, God will give us the strength to face every test. We are all Job. And honestly, I think the difficulties are for us more than the ones who are sleeping. Because the ones who are sleeping, they don't know they're sleeping. We're awake. We're going to see stuff. We're going to, go through stuff. So the test is for us, but we have each other to hold each other's hands and, come through it okay. So V3, you're perfect just the way you are. I love you. So don't feel bad.
That's awesome. You always bring such a good energy to everything. And so Game of Thrones, you had your hand up next. What's going on, man?
Ted, thank you. And Bill, I connected you finally with the Bill and Ted's Great Adventures. You got to understand, I'm probably the old guy here in the room. Orwellian can tell you. He
No.
calls me no. What? Who's going to be 70 next year in this room? I don't think anybody. But
I
no,
look 80.
it's
I
all
don't know if that
cool.
counts.
It's all good, man. It's all good. I just want to say this room draws me in more and more. Every time I come in, I just want to listen because I learn. I mean, guys, it was the last 5 years that turned me into a flat earther. I started paying attention to that Bible and to the Holy Spirit prompting me inside to say, wait a minute. We have a firmament. Hold the phone. And bullshit, we didn't go to the frickin' moon in 1969. And all the crap started falling together, guys. And then when I came in these rooms, first was Sacred and Flat Earth Fridays and the different rooms, and I pop in now and then it's like, hi to Orwellian and the gang and Brian. Brian even came to our morning group this morning. You guys know JP in Indiana, I'm sure. Prominent flat earther. We have our morning group with Shepard and him and Artemis and whatnot. But we saw Brian and some of you guys are starting to pop in there. We're blending our rooms. We're blending our God loving energy. And the fact that we're not a bunch of combative idiots that just throw ad hominems at each other. We're willing to learn from each other. And I just want to echo what I call her Mary Poppins, Liliana. She is a Mary Poppins. She puts that energy out like that. It's like everything's okay. It's a beautiful feeling. No, honestly, guys, it's a beautiful feeling to have that kind of energy to just balance a room and make people feel accepted on whatever levels. Some of you some of you guys might have the physics down or engineering or whatnot, but it's a really important thing for people to feel like they can fit in whatever level they are in this journey. So I just want to thank you guys.
Absolutely. And sometimes you can't reach people that way. I try to reach people on a personal level, like someone you'd meet in the street, and I'm just going to talk to you. This is what I believe, man. Just take a listen. Tell me what you believe, and let's talk about it. But obviously, once they attack, the gloves are off and all bets are off. But that's the way I try to approach it, at least. So, yes, talking to people on a very low level and with humor and all that, it's not the best way, but it's my style, and everyone has their own style, and that's how we all work. But Keith, you've had your hand up for a minute. What's going on, man?
Oh, I appreciate it. And I just wanted to say thank you to the entire Flat Earth community, everybody involved. I eat better, my family's healthier, we're probably going to live longer, and we are closer to God. And thank you guys for hosting this space. I gotta run. I got family duties to do, but I'm gonna be listening in the whole. I appreciate everybody, and yeah, I'll catch you guys on the flip side.
Keith, check your
Awesome, man.
DMs. Check your DMs, Keith.
Yeah, and your text messages, by the way. You commented in my post, and I was like, "You're like, oh, I haven't talked to you guys in forever," and I texted you like, "Hey, man," and you never responded, and I'm kind of mad at you about it. A little butthurt, but I'll let it go. So just check your text, man.
I will, man. I got to download the app again. And real quick, just so you guys know, I'm just going to throw this out there. Maybe it'll help the conversation roll a little bit later. I've seen verifiable proof that Orwellian is related to Pocahontas. Yeah, I'm going to air his dirty laundry right there. But can you believe that? Like, this dude is actually related to Pocahontas, for real. He needs to sue Disney, get some of that money.
Cultural
Wait, I thought
appropriation, bro.
didn't Disney just get wiped off the face of the planet? Supposedly.
Well, you
No.
want to know what's ironic about Keith dropping that pill right now is you guys know what day today is, right?
Oh
Yeah.
God!
Yeah,
It
man.
was Columbus
Yeah.
Day, but it got fucking appropriated some other shit now. That's
Yeah.
right.
Did you not see the name of the
That's why
space,
it got
guys? Come on,
reapproved.
come on.
No wonder we didn't get any mail today. I just figured out why we didn't get any mail. Oh,
You know what's funny too
You're
is
welcome,
I don't
Orwellian.
give a shit about this day at all. I'm not offended by it. It doesn't
The
bother me.
fucking
I
banks
allegedly
certainly don't.
should be super pissed, right? Like if the gaslighting worked, like I'm supposed to be really mad, like big mad. I don't give a fuck. I don't care at all. But yeah, no, Keith, he's not lying. I did go on vacation about a month ago. I was back home visiting my brother in New Mexico, and we do have we've got a family lineage book that was published, which is crazy to think about how expensive that was to do. There's a lot of interesting stuff in it. I've shared quite a bit of it with Keith for obvious reasons. He's he's super good at this stuff, and ironically, I hit him with a couple pictures. Like, finally got it, bro. He's been waiting for months. Sent him a couple pictures in the DMs. Took him like, I don't know, 3 days to get to the DMs, but no, just giving him shit. But he gets around to him and he looks at him and he's like, bro, I need to call you. Like, we got to have a conversation because I've seen some of the stuff in your book in the Library of Congress. So yeah, you're onto something. But yeah, happy Columbus Day for those who celebrate. Conquest is conquest, man. It is what it is. You can't steal something that you conquered. They're two different things. Words mean things. Yeah, let's keep it moving.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. So, Brian, you've been down there for a minute. What's going on, man? I've never heard you stay quiet this long. Are you feeling okay? Is everything all right, man?
What's up, guys? What? I see some hands here. Yep. It's your guys' space, man. You guys need to come here more often. I didn't want to scare you away. I hardly see you. Didn't want to say, "Hey, guys," and then you run or something like that. So like, "What's up, guys?"
Dude, you have a space like 3 times a day, 8 days a week. It's
I
very we can't compete with that.
I know. What's up with that, man? It's good to see you guys, man.
Yeah, it's good to see you too, brother.
I'm glad you guys are all safe. Don't think the government did any of that or anything like that because they can't control the weather or anything. That was
Not at all.
some wicked bad weather, out of the blue, once in a lifetime, never happened ever, probably won't ever happen again, type of thing. But whatever, you guys got to experience it, so you can say, remember that one time in 2024 when this weird thing happened that never happened ever.
We talked about that briefly on the podcast. Ted, you remember the part where this one still like shakes me up, the eye wall thing, man. You guys remember when the storm was like almost on shore right before it dropped from a 5 to a 3? Okay, and they Tampa was supposed to get the north side of the eye wall, which was like gonna basically, because it spins counterclockwise, it was gonna pull all the water in that storm surge. And at the very last minute, it magically broke down and Tampa was spared once again, right? Like nobody.
I heard there's some major stuff in Tampa there too. I forget what they were saying, but Tampa's like an important beta. But I was also hearing like this came out of the Gulf of Mexico and headed towards Florida, and that like never happens ever.
It's rare. It does, but yeah, normally the ones in the Gulf go to like Louisiana and Texas and stuff like that. It's quite rare for them to come just straight across. Usually what they'll do is they'll come from the Atlantic, go under Florida, and then come around, and I said under,
The
but go around Florida and then come back across. This one was just a straight shot. It's like they just formed it right over there and shot it at us.
Well, I'm glad you guys are doing safe, man. Hope everybody down there is.
Thank you, brother. No, but like I was saying, that dry ice thing, I don't know if you guys heard about that, when they used to drop dry ice into the storms and everything, try to break it up. It's just the way it's been described, that you could break up, actually disform an eye wall, and just kind of weird. I know there was some joke posts out there, people putting TikToks out of like guys walking up and seeing dry ice in the ground and stuff. I don't believe half that shit, but it is kind of odd. Just saying, I've never seen that happen, to drop two strengths and then lose part of the eye wall right before it hits. Just weird. And DeSantis was able to stage all the FPL trucks, all that stuff. He was able to stage them in state, which is never, ever happens. They'll usually be on the Georgia line or Alabama, ready to come in, but they never come in state and stage here where it's happening. That just got that was kind of weird.
You know what else I thought was weird is I heard. I saw a video. This lady was on the news getting interviewed or whatever, and they're saying like, yeah, if we told you to evacuate this area, you should do it or you're gonna die. There wasn't.
That's so crazy, dude. People are fucking crazy.
Like, it's pretty specific there, man. You mean no chance at all? What's going on?
Yeah, that's crazy conspiracy shit, though, when you talk about land grabs, because in order for something like that to be true, there would have to be some like unprecedented loan program that they're going to give these businesses with 0% interest, and then they're going to have them, not be able to pay them because the economy is going to get worse. I mean, that would have to happen.
And don't ever think about that.
And it doesn't.
Well, it just so happens that DeSantis announced the other day that they've allocated $50 million in business loans to people at 0% interest.
No, Ted. That's conspiracies. Oh, wait. He
Sounds
said that.
preposterous
He
to
actually
me.
said that, believe it or not, flat out.
Man.
He said it, $50 million on top of what they already allocated for Helene, and I don't know how much that was, but I'm sure it was a nice chunk too.
But is it diverse?
No, it's all green, man. It's all green. Actually, it's all ones and zeros, so it's a little diverse.
It's always all green, man, when they could just print that shit.
Who's they?
The club.
I'm not going to say it because I don't want to nuke your space, but rhymes with hay.
Thank you.
The club that we're not in.
You can't say nothing about that. Hashtag 4 lives.
Noticing isn't a crime. Just
Brian, you're on your like 12th account. Calm down, buddy.
Noticing is not a crime, but apparently it's frowned upon, like heavily frowned upon, like APAC frowned upon.
Yeah.
I'm learning how to speak on the internet. You got to get the code words. But I see here you got Indigenous Earthers Day, Flat Earth, Open Chat, and Hangout. You think you're going to get any globies in here? I mean, I see them all up in my...
I don't know. We got another mic request. I don't know who they are. They follow me,
up.
so I mean that doesn't mean they're not a globie.
That's such a good So somebody did one of those Sacred Earth, Flat Earth Fridays. It was Mystic or somebody, I forget, some big guy was doing a Friday night thing, Flat Earth Friday, and they had this guy, and this dude was trolling hard. And this guy was like, "Oh, it's the pizza pie box. Tell me more about the pizza pie box." He kept, dude, I was dying.
I remember that.
It was fucking. I
the New Yorker dude.
I was crying. Tears were streaming down my face with laughter because this guy just kept going on. Because he kept playing was he playing the role? Was he actually a Glober, or was he just fucking trolling hard? But it was like an hour-long thing. It was a long time. I don't know if anyone. It was pretty funny. But yeah, it would be great to get another Glober up here and then have somebody come in with the fucking thermodynamics. Oh man.
They usually just say "nuh-uh," so it's cool. But Taylor's here. Did you do those experiments the other night, Taylor? Which one?
Well, I
What'd you end
just
up doing?
yeah, I just finally got my 100-foot laser pointer to make sure the ground is level, is a leveler. And then I have a
Of
plan this
course it
weekend to
is.
go view some stars. So coming soon.
So your level's not curved, right? Like it doesn't curve with the surface.
Yeah, my
It's actually
hallway,
level.
it's pretty flat. And that's not really the point. The point is showing that things that get further back can more easily be obstructed. And they start to merge with the horizon. So on a natural plane, on the ground, you're going to have these natural obstructions here and there just by hills and valleys or whatever it may be. And this can give or waves in the case of a boat going over the horizon. These will give it the apparent nature that it's going, over the horizon, but you can easily demonstrate, and it's a known phenomena that further back things will begin to merge with the horizon, and even little obstructions will, cover it because it's merged with the horizon with bottom up obstruction. So um, and disappearance. So anyway, I was just demonstrating that. Whether the hallway has a little curves here or there, it's not really significant because none of them would be higher than the tape itself that I was covering. So anyway, I'm gonna redo it. I'm gonna try to find the flattest hallway I can. Now that I have this laser leveler. So anyway, I'm gonna try to redo it and just I mean, I don't want to do it for them because, I'm tired of the trolls, but like it just I guess gives them one less thing to say.
But you're new to flat Earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're like you have a PhD, and this
Not
is all
yet.
new to you, right?
Not PhD
Oh,
yet.
but
Yeah,
you're
I'm
working
Hey
working
on
on
it.
it right
Taylor.
now.
Hey Taylor, you have me blocked. Did we have a tiff at some point?
Are you a Glover?
I don't think so.
Okay, well then maybe I got you mistaken, bro.
That's all
Yeah.
good. All good. Yeah, I wanted to, you know, give a shout out to you. I think the other day.
It was probably one of those really sarcastic posts you did that people
No,
think.
no.
Yeah,
Yeah. I pose as one sometimes just to to troll a little bit and then get,
oh my gosh, that's probably what happened. Yeah, I'm
oops.
just like anybody who says anything just blatantly ridiculous, like,
I,
and it's like commenting on my stuff. So I'm just
I've
like,
never done that in
I
my
don't even
entire
want to deal
life.
with them.
I've never said anything
So
blatantly
you're good at
ridiculous.
mimicking them. Yeah, you're good at that.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you unblocked.
Thank you.
Hey Taylor, if you can find and obviously don't dox yourself, but so like up here we've got a lot of abandoned, the places people do ghost hunter shit, structures that were built very 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 long time ago. You're gonna get extremely long hallways, and they will be very very level. Don't know if that's an option for you, but it's something to look into.
Oh yeah, and Taylor, I wanted to say to you because you were on Flat Earth Friday the other night, and I didn't want to jump up and speak, but I was like biting my tongue. I wanted to say, so your post, I never knew you existed before the other day, and then I saw your post of a star that you said was focused by a PhD astronomer, and we always get with the P1000 camera. You just don't know how to focus a camera. You don't know how to use a telescope. You're an idiot. This that. So when I tweeted or quoted your tweet of that, they still were in there saying PhDs don't really know how to do anything themselves, blah blah blah. Clearly he like they're still just saying that they're using the wrong equipment, which you said it was like $75,000, and that the PhD doesn't know how to focus it. Still saying
Well,
that.
actually, that was three different astronomers, and I had a thread of three different star videos by three different astronomers using two different, extremely nice telescopes, very, very expensive pieces of equipment in observatories. So and a lot of times, they're like on autofocus, where the machine can actually autofocus it itself, and that's, close to the best thing you can get is focus. I mean, but next time I'm recording it, I'm thinking about asking them like, hey, is this focused? Like, in the video, like, yes, it's absolutely focused. Maybe even if I can, just like, hey, can you like move it in and out of focus each way just to show that this is the most focused view? I'm gonna try. That's gonna be a stretch, but I will try.
So hey, real quick,
Isn't it sad that you have to do that?
Yeah. I'm like, okay, I've asked him, I said, post me one video of a star that's not like, does not have any type of computer generation or like, any sort of like computation to it, just a raw video. Anybody, nobody's been able to post me one. Because for them to not twinkle, you have to have some type of correction there. Because if you have common sense, if you look at the stars in the sky, they are twinkling. So naturally, if you zoom in on something that's twinkling, it's going to be twinkling, unless you're having some, computer makeup for that, effect. So whatever. I mean, for them to just call it
No,
fake is
that's
ridiculous.
that's using your brain. You're not allowed to do that if you're going to be in the heliocentric cult, all right? You cannot think logically at all.
I have
Orwellian,
noticed.
what were you getting ready to say on that point?
I've noticed with my P1000 that my manual focus, honestly, like if I allow it to autofocus, I can get way, way, way more crisp. And you can obviously see like, okay, this is out of focus, this is in focus, as opposed to the autofocus. So yeah, Taylor, like if you can get somebody to do that, like, hey, let's play with this a little bit just um so we can show people that we're going in and out or using the auto versus the manual. I've had a lot more luck once I figured out how to do it with the manual focus on the P1000, just with moonshots, than I actually get with the autofocus. So another thing to think about. But yeah, it's ironic that what you were talking about. Yeah, trust the PhDs, right? Let's trust the PhDs when it's convenient, but when it's inconvenient, no, those PhDs are stupid, weird.
Yeah, I think actually what they're doing there is they find a star, they identify it, they figure out which one it is. And then what I believe that I'm going to pay much more close attention next time, but I believe that they just insert that star on their computer and then the telescope will naturally move that way. Like these telescopes are so huge, like the whole ceiling moves because it's only open in that one spot. So it's like a big loud, like the whole ceiling will turn. And then so the telescope can be focused on that star and then I believe it manually focuses it, like, so it's all, like, computer generated, like, it's crazy for them to say it's not focused at that point. I mean, it's in an observatory. They're just from my understanding, they're just entering the star and it just does all the work itself.
So now, from coming from somebody who's looking at this newly with a new eye and looking at them in the way you have, and I don't expect you to answer this because I can't give you an answer, but I'm just curious, what do you think they actually are?
I think that the Bible talks about like there that will be like shining as the stars in heaven. I think that it could represent some type of celestial being, like a soul of an angel, or it talks about how the sons of God sang for glory, and it could be angels. In my opinion, based on the Bible, because that's kind of where I get my fundamental. That's like my fundamental stance is like the scripture, right? And I'm just exploring everything else. I know y'all take a different approach, but that's kind of how I do it. And there is religious protection. I do have religious freedom. So under the freedom of religion, I can, say that. But yeah, I do believe it could be some angelic beings or something of that nature, or it could be like points in the firmament that are open and you could see like the glory of heaven coming through, something like that. I mean, I'm not really sure. Maybe I know that one day we'll all know, but for now we're just guessing. But I don't think it's what they're telling us it is.
Oh, absolutely not. And it looks, I mean, there has to be water involved somehow because they look exactly like when light reflects on water and it shimmers on it something. And that's exactly how they look. And like you said, the Bible says, and again, coming from a 35-year atheist, the Bible says, which I believe is more accurate than anything else we're taught now. I do believe things are messed up in it, parts are taken out. Especially today, things are clearly manipulated because firmament used to be in it. That's taken out now. There's all these things, but I don't think they're allowed to hide all of God's truth from us. So I think they're just allowed to twist it a little bit. So with an open mind, I still think you can see the truth in there. And there's clearly supposed to be water above and below. And it looks just like that. I don't know what it is, but I know what it looks like. And I know what the Bible says. So I'm going to go that way.
Yeah, and then actually for the longest time they tried to hide the Bible. I mean, even the Catholic Church, they won't tell you to go read it because if you did, Jesus was against the people that you're calling father. And by the way, you're not supposed to call anybody father but your father in heaven. So them even calling their priest father is another thing. But anyway, they didn't want people reading the Bible. Like people didn't have access to it, and it's obvious why. But now it's just become like, God always wins, and God's word, I believe it'll prevail. I know our creator put us here for a purpose, and I don't think he'd leave us here without knowing that. And I don't see any way that a divine creator that did all of this for us would leave us here without any instruction or knowledge on the way things actually are. So And we still have the papyrus and Dead Sea Scrolls, these ancient scriptures written on leaf and copper scroll that they can't hide. So there's a lot out there. And even believing in the Bible itself is fringe. I mean, look, if you believe that there's a firmament, and waters above and waters below and pillars of the earth and the earth is not moving, I mean, you're already looked at as crazy. So many people don't believe the Bible as it is now.
I wish I could go back to Sunday school and just walk in and be like, "So what's up with the firmament? Can we talk about that, please?" But no, I
There
mean,
you go.
Well,
There you go.
the indoctrination. The indoctrination. They get you at that young age in school. But what we used to go is to Sunday school. We used to only go to Sunday school. That was once a week, right? And they get us in the system young and early, and they put these models in front of us. And our entire reality of everyone we've ever known, has believed that. So, yeah, it becomes very. But hey, Taylor, amazing. I'm so glad that you've entered my life and I've been in this space and listened to what you've been saying, and I'm absolutely blown away. And we had another space. A guy came in. He was Mr. Radio technical guy, and he was going to even do a live stream with all of his friends at different parts around the globe to prove. They were all going to hold up a piece of it was like they're going to put up a pole with a flag or something, and they were going to all do it at the same time, and then clearly show that the angle of the sun would be different at different places. And I was like, dude, from a technical perspective, if people across the plane were to do this, wouldn't they just prove that a sundial is like a working measurement tool? Or is there some kind of argument that he could make from a technical perspective? I'm just spitballing, just for the mind game experiment of it.
yeah, I mean, all their thinking is absolutely absurd. But Brian, what's up? You had your hand up.
Oh, just checking on that whole Bible thing there. Yeah, I mean, I was never an atheist, but I didn't really take religion all that seriously. Stuff. I obviously believed in God. If you see it, it was created. Nothing can't create nothing. That's just retarded. But when you start looking at this, Taylor's right, man. They you couldn't just go out and just read the Bible, man. You had to go to the priest, man. You had to go to the guys that knew about it, the experts in there. You could be killed for doing this. So they definitely wanted to tell the story they wanted to, man. They wanted to rewrite that Bible. I think they manipulated it. I think they had to keep the stories in there, but they had to tell it in a different way. I mean, no one really believes that you just come out of monkey brain and you're going to build some pyramids, right? You think you got to get some training on that, but apparently, so there was technology around, man. So they couldn't have technology in the Bible. That'd be weird. What do you mean? No, he got into a submarine. What? No, they say we got eaten by a whale or some crap like that. There's just a lot of stuff in there that if you look at it through that it's got to be some technology or something like that. A lot of stuff seems a little bit more cool. I think this true realm of ours proves that Bible. I think you got to decipher it a little bit, uh, But I think we're living in God's realm. If you don't believe in God, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with you right now.
I completely agree. What's up, Phantom? I saw you just popped up here. How you doing?
What's up, man? It's good to see y'all.
Whoa, what up, Phantom?
Where you at? Oh, there he is.
What up, Phantom?
Yo, so it's great that you guys are holding the space today. You just the people I want to talk to about this. There's a video circulating right now where something is seen going through the sun.
You want to
Really super it's going
Hey,
super
repeat
duper
that
fast
again.
through the sun.
Something going through the sun?
I'm gonna post it in the Jumbotron. We got AI these days.
Oh
We
my
got
gosh,
AIs
I
these
am so
days.
sorry, everybody.
So I don't know if it's real. I haven't even ran it through a scanner yet to find out if it's real. The only thing I want to know if it is real and something is going through the sun. I need some of you brilliant minds. I see Taylor's here. She's so brilliant. I need some of you brilliant minds to literally tell me how fast the thing is going and how fast it clears from one end of the sun to the other so we can find out exactly how big the sun is.
Ezekiel's wheel, the big wheel, little wheel.
Might be hard without without anything else to reference, but definitely post it up there. I want to
It's
see it.
up there in the
Yeah,
jumbotron now.
I want to check that out.
It's really crazy looking. It does not look fake to me. I don't think the AI is that sophisticated yet to fake this. But like I said, there's a lot of brilliant people in here. Hopefully, we got someone brilliant enough to figure it out and tell us exactly how fucking close the sun is to us. You know?
I mean, I'm not a mathematician. I know that there's many people in the FV community that are like people way more brilliant than me. Like I don't know. The work that people do in here is just amazing. It actually astonishes me. So I'm just nothing, you know. So I want to give you guys some credit for all that math, and Shane, maybe shoot it over to him. I know he's very smart, wits it. I've never been into math that much, so I don't know.
Did you look at
I
the
don't know how to
video?
figure that out.
Yeah, I looked at the video. It looks like the space shuttle.
Yo, it literally looks like the space shuttle
What?
going
A
through the
space
sun.
shuttle? Kidding.
I don't know,
Some
man.
kind of craft. No, it's some kind of craft going across. I looked at it like 12 times.
Oh
See
my
the same thing.
gosh.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man.
I'm
What
gonna
do you
get this.
think?
I hadn't seen
What
that
do you guys
either.
think first from your first look at this little clip? It's 7 seconds. Do you think it's possible that we're watching something actually traveling through our sun?
I don't know, man. I mean, it looks. It's like I don't know. You want it to be legit, right? It's just so many.
What if it's traveling in front
Weird.
of a device? What if it's traveling in front of a wheel or a plasma device of some kind? Think about, you know, like how many times in music have we heard big wheel, little wheel? Wheel keeps on turning, you know. That's saying that there's a meaning to that, right? So there could potentially be some kind of city or plasma device of some type in front of maybe the actual sun, right? So maybe this is like a false. It's hiding in front of the sun, right? And that craft just crossed over in front of it. That's a potential.
The problem I have with it is how the camera was waiting for it.
Just gonna say that 100%. So the way that the camera pans, coming from somebody who does photography. Can you guys hear me? I'm sorry, I'll drop down if you guys don't hear me.
I hear
Oh,
you.
well,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I might
I
be
heard
red
you.
too if you guys can't hear me.
Ooh, we're getting glitchy. Elon,
Or
quit
maybe,
playing.
maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is the moon.
I think it's supposed to be the sun.
Yeah.
It looks like
So I think the problem with figuring this out is that the light from the sun takes about 8 minutes to get here to Earth from 93 million miles away. And I don't
Yeah, allegedly.
So speaking of going back to Taylor's post, I put that in the jumbotron too. And as an owner of a P1000, I can somewhat agree with the Globers that there are some pictures and videos out there that aren't focused, but you can tell what they are, and they don't look anything like what Taylor's video that was taken of those stars out there. But you have to understand that, like, in order to be a Glober, you have to believe that it takes that you are watching light from 8 years ago on that video that's just reaching our field of vision, even through the zoom. And you gotta believe that you can zoom up on these stars, which are literally trillions of miles away, trillions upon trillions, and for some reason they all look about the same size. And then you can zoom right up on Saturn, Jupiter, any of the planets that are hundreds of millions of miles away. And the funny thing is, it's like Jupiter is supposed to be closer to the Earth than Saturn is, and like however many times the size, but you zoom in on them with your P1000 and they still look about the exact same size when they're zoomed in. Nothing about the globe makes sense. And when you really start to pick it apart, I mean, there's nothing you can really do to even defend
But
it.
Rufus, it's because we don't know scale.
Yeah, that's what they always tell us. Imagine this. Imagine the size of the abacus required back in the day. Okay, I just use abacus because it's funny. Let's slide some beads around. Imagine the size of the abacus you would need to calculate that. How'd you measure that, bro? That's my question, dude. Always my question. How'd you measure that, bro? You pulled this gigantic, almost unimaginable and unfathomable number smooth out of your ass, and all I'm asking is how'd you measure that? Crickets. Scale, bro. You don't understand
Yeah,
this, or you don't understand that. You're a silly flirt. You can't zoom. You don't know how to zoom. Get a PhD. Oh, well, the PhD zoom that? Well, that PhD's stupid. Like, dude, the fucking constant goalpost moving is just mind blowing to me.
yeah, it's all ridiculous. But there's some people who have requests in, and I don't know if they're globies or not, and I don't want to hear them say you didn't let me
Ooh,
up.
please,
So
please,
Oh wait,
please.
yo,
I gotta
oh,
drop. I gotta drop a couple people down. Echo, did you have
My
anything
my
else you want
favorite
to say
my
before I
favorite
drop
thing.
you down?
Let's go,
Hmm?
bro.
Hold on one
I'll
second,
go
man.
ahead and drop down. I got some stuff to add, but I can do it later. No worries.
You, oh, so you got the floor, man.
Yeah, if you want to say something now, go
Oh,
ahead.
okay. Yeah. I'm just happy to see you guys or hear you guys. So earlier, if my mic was crazy, we were jamming out some music. I've been listening the whole time, and I'm loving being a part of the group and being part of the family. You guys are really, really helpful in my own journey and everyone else's as well. I recently, for the phone booth podcast, I promoted you guys to like my personal friends. You know, just trying to get the word out and just get people involved in understanding the truth and understanding the discussion. My favorite thing is to bring up the three body answer
Yo,
to
you're
it.
breaking
And
up
then
real
I was
bad,
recently
dude.
looking at what they uh,
Yeah, you're
Yeah, man, you're
glitching pretty
breaking
yeah,
up
bad.
I just
Can you
real
drop out
bad.
and come back? Because he was getting into the three body problem, and that's a great one. You know, if you could drop out and come back, we'll hit somebody else while you're gone. We'll come back to you.
Can we get a Globy,
All
though?
right, I'll
Can
drop.
we get a Globy, man? I want the smoke. Where's this? Come on, man.
I don't know. Let's see who's. I'm gonna let a couple
I might
people
come
up
back as
here.
one.
Let's see requests in the order.
hey Ted, can you hear me, brother?
All right.
Taylor will block you.
Yeah, I
Oh,
can
Orwellian
hear
okay,
you.
is
cool.
ready to rumble. Listen to him. He's
Man, sorry,
Orwellian's ready to go rumble.
I got him in
I'll
my
only block you if you're under my comments annoying.
yeah, I got them in my threads right now. I'm trying to get them in here. They're saying they're scared or I'm scared. I don't know, but they're in the comments saying I'm scared that I don't know, but that anyway, they're scared.
I got crickets in my comments. I was only capable of bringing one into Flat Earth Friday, and he came in shit face, and then he came back a week later willingly, and we've never seen him again. Just so you
you
guys
guys
know down
remember.
there.
So
I think that's the only
You
way to live life
guys
is shit face when you're Globy.
Hey, just so you Globies know down there, if you guys want to come up and grab a mic, we're gonna have to establish a baseline. And if you can't answer simple questions about I don't know, the thing that you believe that you live on, it's probably gonna be a waste of time. Like we will establish a baseline. You're gonna have to be able to handle that. If you can't, you can spiral in the comments. We're used to it, but come prepared or just don't pull up.
And we're not going to gang up.
they
There won't
probably
be no
won't.
gang ups. We're not going to be 50 deep on you. We'll be laughing, but
We'll be throwing up some emojis, that's for sure.
all
But
day.
so trap gravity. I'm assuming you're not a globy and you have your hand up. So what's going on, man?
I don't know. I'm a little dizzy since we're spinning so fast chasing the sun at 66,000 miles an hour right now. So I might fall over here in the space with y'all. But no, hey, my boy Keith said you got to come here. I'm a P1000 owner. Had it since like right after COVID. So I would say like July or August of 2020. That's when I got it. And man, the shit that you see out there, none of this shit's real, what they tell us, you know. I missed the whole everything I was saying, but everything I've heard so far, I'm like, yeah, these people, they're on it. So mad respect for everybody in here.
How long have you been a flat earther, or at least been questioning things?
17, probably 17, 17, 18 was when it really. I didn't trust anything that they were telling us. You know, the news is fake. We are the news, in my opinion. Like us, freelance people,
I dig it.
we are the news. You know, we don't we don't wake up in the morning. Oh, let me watch Good Morning America and see what the fuck's happening today and who I need to
Are
vote
you telling me
for.
you don't watch Good Morning America?
Fine.
Is that what you're telling me? You
Cable.
don't watch that?
I cut cable off in like 21. Said hell no. Cut all that shit off.
I got to get
I
my
don't have
whoopee though.
cable either.
So let's go to the P1000 real quick. If you got to realize, like a lot of people will get the P1000 and they want to zoom in on the moon and they want to just like look at the craters. And I'm like, all right, you go ahead and look at that plasma projection in the sky. What you got to do is back off of it. Back off of it and use the moon as that light source. And then you will see so many fucking objects ripped through, back and forth, behind, in front of. You'll see the craziest shit. You got to learn how to actually use it. And it took me a while to like get to that point. But I've got a 30-minute video clip that you literally see 100 fucking objects. And I'm not fucking kidding. 100 objects with past the moon. And we're talking like, that's other thing. A lot of this stuff, it travels so fast, you don't see it with the human eye. Our brain can't pick up, like, we can't just see it. But that's why I like using like a MacBook with QuickTime. Because every click of the mouse, like, you know, the little roller on the mouse, when you're replaying a video from P1000, all you have to do is one roll and it's frame by frame by frame. And you'll literally see stuff in just 2 to 3, maybe 4 frames. You know, another thing too is we have all these like black rectangles flying above us all the time. Like they're like drones. And you could stare up at the sky, you'll never see it. But once you throw it in QuickTime and start breaking things down frame by frame, it's unreal the technology that's out there, what we're able to see whenever you just slow it down. And anyone with a P1000, I recommend do this. Throw it in QuickTime or throw it in whatever program you can and start looking at stuff frame by frame. And then you'll really start seeing stuff.
You hear
By
that,
the way,
Rufus?
thank y'all for letting me speak. I appreciate y'all guys.
Thank you,
We're
man.
all on the same page.
Oh, absolutely. So we got a couple more requests down there. I don't know if they're Globies or what, but the dude who was talking about the 3-body problem dropped down and came back up. So I wanted to see if we can hear him now.
Hey guys, sorry, we were in the car, so it was a little messy. But yeah, once I started looking into that, can you hear me, by the way? Can you
We
hear me?
got you, Malachi.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, all right, bet. Yeah, well, you know, there's a lot of different discussions and stuff. It's like they could refute X, Y, Z, da 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 da, but for that to be just this unsolved thing, they're kind of at a loss for words at that point. And so I started looking into it myself, and then I found out what they're saying as well with the entire solar system, and then what all of the planets and stars are doing throughout the galaxy. I mean, it's like you times the 3-body problem by like 8 billion, and it just becomes an even more indescribable problem that they're having. And how are you ever going to reconcile that? I don't see any future solution coming to fruition, honestly.
No, it's never going to, because that kind of stuff is impossible, because
Yeah.
that's the problem. Their equations are off by a fraction. They work real well, but when that fraction's extrapolated out through the whole entire
Yeah.
solar system, it just doesn't work anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I bring that up because it's like, guys, if there was ever a reason to have major skepticism about what they're telling you, this is it right here. This is like the, I guess you could say, like, holy grail of
I
skepticism.
don't hear anybody.
Hello?
Oh, I hear him. Bill, it must be
Hello?
you. Drop out and come
Hello?
back, Bill, real quick.
I'll be
Yeah.
back.
All right. Yeah,
But
well,
yeah,
just
that's
yeah.
exactly why they made a Netflix series called that, or whatever it is. So when you Google that, the 3-body problem, that's what comes up. instead of the actual 3-body problem.
Yeah. And now that you mentioned that, in terms of like searching things, recently I just went on Google, but like, I've been on this journey. I've been a flat earther for like, geez, I would say about 2 years or so, something like that. Fairly new, but way back in my early stages, I looked up, talking about the horizon, like what from our eyes at a 5-foot observer height, what is the distance that you should see? Like Bill Nye says, the boats go behind the curvature of the Earth, right? And it says 3 miles. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, 3 miles. Whatever. Time goes on. Just today, I looked it up, and I looked up at a 5-foot observer height. At what distance should you see ships go behind the curvature of the Earth? And instead of giving me the answer, the first thing that came up was discussions against flat Earth. And I was like, why is that? I'm actually like, imagine if someone was looking up just to have the answer for it, and they're not going to get that. They're going to get, refutations about flat Earth and all these, different fallacious arguments and stuff like that. So it's weird. It was on Google. I don't know if that matters, but like, it seems like the search engine updated or changed the answers that you're going to get for what you search. Like if I was someone in school and I wanted to ask that question, the answer wasn't the first thing that I got. It was refutation of flat Earth, which just proves to me that it's getting so big now that they really got to do something about it.
Exactly. That's what it's all about. They just shut down anything that goes against what they're saying. But
Yeah,
so we got a
I
couple more
reported it
requests.
too.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
I
Nice.
sorry, man. I'm not trying to interrupt. Sorry.
Look, so many people rely on Google. I mean, just ask like some of your friends that might not be flat earthers. Ask them anything, and then ask them a question, and then they'll go and they'll screenshot the first 2 or 3 results on Google and be like, "Well, Google tells me this." It's like, all right, Google is now just like the fucking truth engine. Come on, guys. They
Yeah,
won't do the
yeah.
research.
We already actually figured this out a while back when looking up the solar eclipse. When I looked up the solar eclipse on Google, it gave me an answer that was, I believe, in the near future, but then yeah, my friend actually, if you don't mind, my friend's gonna tell you the specifics of like what Google is really doing.
What I had him do was search up specifically when the next solar eclipse was going to be. That's the exact question that me and him both typed into our phones. I use Safari off of mine, he uses Google Chrome. When we typed that in, we were given 2 completely separate dates, one in April, one in October. The one in April was closer and was a partial eclipse. That was on my phone. His pulled the one that was just now recent, which was in October, which was a total eclipse. That was the literal difference between it, because his, when he put it into Google, it AI filtered out exactly what he was looking for and filtered in that he was looking for the next total eclipse, which that was not what he asked.
And so that's kind of how it's like working. Is like they don't give you the information that you're looking for. They give you like the most
AI
popular, right? Like this most popular AI filtered answer. And so Google's not, as trustworthy as people think. Just to corroborate you more.
Yeah, absolutely, man. They manipulate everything. I've watched, I don't even remember what it was about now, but Bill can vouch for me. I put up a post a long time ago that they literally changed the definition of something on Google in real time. Like, thank God I screenshotted it and I went
He's
back
not
and
lying. It's
checked
true.
and screenshotted again, and it was completely different from the same
Yeah.
place, because people are like, oh, when you're in a different geography, it says something different. It was from my house both times, literally like an
Yeah.
hour and a half apart.
I mean,
Yeah.
my biggest thing is, how can you go and expect something to give you accurate information when it was designed to be spyware? Like, you can literally go and type into Google and ask it, is Google spyware? And it will tell you yes.
I didn't know that. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, the government admitted that they can do that. So what was that? There was that one video of the guy who was like, even if you take the battery out of your phone, I can still listen to you. Like, what, bro? I'm supposed to trust
Chips.
these things?
Just think about tap
Yeah.
to pay. Just think your debit.
GPS location when it's on.
Yeah.
Look, your
Yeah.
Yeah, man, you can't trust any of it at all. But so we
No.
have another request and somebody, a new speaker up. I can't
Oh,
even say your name. Oh, RG the artist. What's going on, man?
yeah. Thank you, guys.
Hey, what's up,
Oh
buddy?
shit! What's up,
Oh,
RG?
hey, what's up, guys? How are you? Sorry, man, I was dozing off. Yeah, man. Hope everybody's doing good today. Appreciate you holding the space.
Yeah, appreciate you coming out, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So it's just an open topic kind of discussion, or does it have to be related to flat Earth, round Earth kind of vibe?
No,
I mean, it depends what it is, but yeah, throw it on us.
Oh, it on you, you said. Okay. So I'm still kind of up in the air about this subject. I've looked a little more into it the past 2 or 3 days, since I've got my mind off of North Carolina now. We've been trying to take donations and send them up there. But anyhow, uh,
that's
damn, what was I
cool,
going to
man.
say?
That's
Oh,
cool
about
that
the
you're doing
two.
that.
I appreciate that. Yeah, yeah. It's not about me, man. It's about other people and what they need. And dude, I mean, it barely nicked me, dude. I mean, I was just about to be sucked up into the damn wider universe. So fortunate I wasn't hit like they were, but I mean, it's just kind of a sappy subject, you know what I mean? Like, and I've been dealing with it for the past week almost. So, but so anyway, I did want to ask if anyone else has been really looking into this, what they call quote unquote the second sun. Some of the legitimate photos I've seen, and also two suns. And these are, of course, in different parts of the world than what we would see. I don't know if I don't want to jump the gun and say we're all from America, but on this corner of the earth, man, we're not fed the correct information like, most people praise the government and news channels for. We're not really fed the good truth. So, I want to just mention that I've seen some really good, legitimate video and pictures of the two suns and two moons, but unfortunately they're UK and Japan China area. Let me say that so I don't get it wrong. But what do y'all think about that? Like, is it hit y'all? Have y'all seen some things like this the past week or so?
I personally haven't seen any of them, but some people that I know that I trust aren't faking it have sent me videos that they took themselves, but I personally haven't seen anything. They were in Australia, so again, not in here in North America, but I don't know. Has anyone else seen it?
Also, if you run, like if you have a P1000 and you put any type of fucking lens on your P1000, it can produce two suns. Like if you're just same with you behind a double pane glass, but also the two sun thing. I don't. I think that's them telling us there's two different suns. Go look at the sun. One day it's orange, the next day it's like a white, bright blue. I think the two sun thing might not be two actual suns in the sky, but two different suns from day to day to day. You know.
Right. Well, I know about lens flares and the double panes and what would produce something like that. But there's easy ways of telling if it's something to do with the lens or the aperture being open too long, or it's just too. I don't know. It's too uh, tangible of a subject. Too many things that I've seen to just discard it. I don't know. I was just curious about that though. If anyone else was paying attention to that
Oh,
kind
I'm
of.
definitely skeptical as myself. I mean, I'm curious too. I've shared some videos. I know Ted has, Rufus has plenty shared them. I mean, we're open to it, but I don't know. Me personally, I don't know enough about photography to make distinct differences like that. I'll leave it up to the quote unquote pros. However, it's not out of the realm of possibility, and I believe there's a black sun. So I don't know if that even counts.
I know this goes really.
Of
I
course
know
you
this
do, you
goes.
Freemason.
I know this goes so far off the path, but I think that there, beyond the ice walls, there's more realms, and I think those double moons, double suns. Because remember, 2 weeks ago, the mainstream narrative was talking about, oh, you're gonna see a double moon in the sky type shit. I think those belong to another realm, and they might eclipse each other. You know, we're side by side with like a whole other civilization beyond the ice wall. They could have their own moon, their own sun, everything. There could be more than one of these realms. There could be 6, 7, 8 of them. There could be 8, 9 more moons for all we know.
Absolutely, man. And just so everyone knows, we got about 30 minutes left. We're not cyborgs. Some of us got family stuff to do and got to be up at 5 a.m. And we have 3 hands up. So I'm not sure I remember the order. I think it was Orwellian first, and then Brian,
No,
and then
Brian
Liana.
had it first.
Okay, sorry, Brian.
Well,
Go
I'll be
ahead.
real quick, man. I'll be real quick. This is what we deal with here, man. You got all these people in the threads all just being thumb warriors and stuff, just being little internet tough guys. I don't know, man. I grew up in the 70s and 80s and 90s. We didn't have the internet. You talk shit, you dealt with that shit right then and there, man. But this is what this one guy said when I said, "Hey, man, I'm live. Come join up." He says, "Not joining where there are Nazis, comma, Holocaust deniers, comma, Challenger death crew deniers, or history deniers." So, y'all, I don't know what you guys are doing to these people, man, but you're killing me. You're killing me.
Everybody's just brainwashed, and they can't look at things in a different way. But Bill, real quick, tell everybody.
Yeah, I got a sick kid on my hands here, so I gotta go help the wife. I love each and every one of you, and thank you for all the prayers, and they really helped out, and they just you guys are awesome, man. Everybody is just this whole community is makes it that much more worth it, and yeah, man, just keep fighting, keep doing your thing, keep smiling, keep laughing, keep the love going, raise vibrations, and put God first. I love y'all.
Hell yeah, man. It was good to talk to you. Love you too, man. Have a good night.
Love you, Bill.
Yeah, man. Sorry she's not feeling well. And I always forget to say this, so while we got to pause right now, let me just ask everyone humbly, if you like what we talk about, the things on the podcast, please subscribe and share with people because it's so hard. We're completely kicked off YouTube now. That's gone. So all we got left is Rumble and Spotify. We're going to try to get to other places, but please share it with people. And that was my shill moment. And the funny part about it is, when we got kicked off of YouTube last week, I was going through Rumble, checking the settings and stuff, and I happened to come upon our earnings. So just over a year and 2 months, our earnings on Rumble are $47.
You're
So
raking.
I am a great shit.
So, what'd you get kicked off of YouTube, man? What did you say, man?
Well, one of the things was they went back to an episode that was about. It was called "Where Q and Flat Earth Meet." It was like 9 months old, and they went back as soon as elections started up and struck that episode and kicked that one off. So that was like a month we were off. And then I finally got to post again, and I posted that one with Mark Gober about how viruses don't exist and how he looked into cosmology and it makes no sense. And that was up for 30 minutes and it was gone. And I'm pretty sure that's our last strike because that's definitely 3. So who knows?
And so basically, YouTube is we're the current narrative. Don't challenge anything. Sheeps are welcome here.
Absolutely. So Orwellian, you were next. What's going on, man? What were you going to say?
Yeah, actually, ironically, this dovetails into what I was talking about. I wanted to piggyback, or actually not piggyback, but boomerang back to what Taylor was talking about and Brian got into with regards to the Bible. I'm not going to harp on that, but yeah, you weren't allowed to do that, right? And if you did, you had to go through a gatekeeper, okay? Somebody that kept the gate. So now we're talking about you guys getting banned by, well, the gatekeepers, back to Google. Well, YouTube, obviously, offshoot, sister company, partner company, tentacle of Google is well, they're gatekeeping information. Search results, gate kept, all of them, every single one of them. There's an algorithm that's actually tailored to you, which is super crazy. A lot of people don't know about this. My search results based on somebody else's search results in a different geographical location or based on quote unquote different preferences using the same keywords will bring up different results. This is not it's not new. It shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. But unfortunately, most like regular normie people have no idea. So what they're fed by the algo based on their search result input dictates what they believe. It dictates what they think is real. It manipulates their perception of reality, and they just go about their life going, "Yeah, I trust Google." Okay, cool. Well, if that's how you want to operate, that's fine. But if people try to make you aware of it, maybe stop attacking them just for letting you know that like you can actually search and get legit information on your query if you don't use something that's gatekeeping info. And one of the ways to test this is so anybody that you might happen to follow, right? Robot Polisher, I'll use them as an example. Yeah, get smashed on nonsense, everything, left and right. So many different accounts. Innocuous posts, nothing that would violate community guidelines. They just kind of make the rules up as they go. So for those of you who are political, Section 230, okay, people hear that buzzword a lot when we get into political campaigns and we get close to an election. We eradicate that, there's a serious issue. Secondarily, the Smith-Mundt Act. I would recommend everybody look that up if you're not familiar with it. It was repealed under Barack Obama, and it actually legalized dissemination of propaganda against United States citizens on U.S. soil. We're actually living through that. 2012, okay, so we're talking 12 years now of literally being the corporate media, these tech companies, everybody being able to literally gaslight you and lie to you with no accountability because of the repealing of the Smith-Mundt Act. All of this shit is connected, and it goes all the way back again to what I was talking about with Taylor, all the way back to biblical times and what Brian was talking about.
If we could get people to just notice that one thing, that our government is openly and legally allowed to lie to us, that would be a huge step forward. But most people have no clue at all. No clue. But Liliana, you had your hand up next. What's going on?
Oh yeah, hey, I was just gonna say that last Saturday, somebody brought up a very interesting point, and that is that they had a telescope that was well focused, etc., and they zoomed in on one of the luminaries. I think one of the planets, maybe Saturn, Jupiter, and then they zoomed in on a couple of the stars, and then they zoomed in on the moon, and they never had to change the focus. So we had quite a good discussion about that, which was very interesting. And I think that what we were speculating is that all these luminaries are somehow projected onto a particular layer of ionized gas or whatever that acts like a screen. And so for our, like from our standpoint, in our perception, our vision, that, because of course, like Shane and everybody has told us that all the luminaries are in a, what's it called, a oh god, I'm somehow I'm having a little brain freeze over here. Brian, what is it when you see everything projected in a apparent position, right? That's
Yeah.
that's the phrase. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
your apparent
everything's
position in your own personal dome of view.
right, right. So if everything's in an apparent position, it's possible that everything is actually just on one or maybe two screens. Like maybe the sun is on a different layer of ionized gases that is acting like a projection screen, and maybe all the rest of the luminaries. Because the fact that the focus didn't have to change is very interesting. And also the other thing too is that these cameras that are sent up like over 25 miles high, like 30 miles into the sky, and then we see the sky as being completely ink black. I'm beginning to think that actually those stars are so distant that we can't actually see them. And the only reason we're able to see them from the ground is that whatever layer they're coming through, like whatever ionized gas layer they're coming through, which would also be dome shaped for us because of the sun heating up our atmosphere in a certain way, et cetera, in the Antarctic basin. So I think that those stars themselves are being enlarged as, to our view, to our vision. And so that's why they're not visible when you go above those layers of the ionized gases or whatever. So yeah, it was a very interesting discussion last Saturday morning about that on Sacred's channel.
Yeah, that's awesome. There's definitely that's the thing. None of us know everything about the stars. None of us can say what they are for sure, and we're comfortable admitting that. But a lot of people aren't. So, but Taylor, you had your hand up. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, I'm sorry, you're about to leave, so I'm gonna try to make it very quick. You can cut me off whenever I don't usually go on long. So I was gonna say earlier I was having a conversation, I think yesterday, about the stars too in a non-flat Earth space. About how it's interesting how we have completely different stars from north to south, but whenever the Earth goes around the sun, you're facing different directions in space throughout the year. We see the same stars, like the Great Dipper or the Big Dipper. So I feel like we should see completely different stars, as we do similarly to North and South. Like we cannot see Polaris, in the South Pole. I do want to get you guys' opinion on that point, if there's anything to refute it, because I think that I would want to be corrected by you guys if I was saying anything wrong, because I don't want to sound stupid. So I will take zero offense to it. Second of all, I was just going to mention about viruses and well, y'all know I study biology. We actually and let me preface this by saying there is a lot of overlap, like, right, between like viruses and stuff. So for example, acyclovir can be used to treat viral infections, and acyclovir has also been shown to have good trials in Alzheimer's patients. So there's a lot of overlap between these different diseases and remedies, between, like, parasites, cancer, dementia. It's very interesting how that works, right? Very interesting. But that's not to say that I don't think that things like, well, I know bacteria are real. I mean, I have a microscope. I can, view them very easily. Very easy to do. Now the one controversial topic is viruses. So, I don't want to like be like abrasive or rude, but I did just ask my basically my boss for microbiology, because we've worked with viruses before, and this is like for a class, like a demonstration. I'm not very fond of working with them, but that's just what it is. So basically you take these bacteriophages that infect E. coli, which is a bacteria, and they will, insert their DNA and, and reproduce in them and cause lysis in the cell. Now what we do here is we put bacteria across the agar plate, and then we introduce the bacteriophages. And then what we see whenever the bacteria grows is these little clearings on the bacteria plate where there's no bacteria growing. Like, it's like little spots where there's no bacteria, whereas like the rest of the plate's cloudy with bacteria, and you can, view this bacteria and stuff. So I did just ask her, like, if we can view, I want to see a bacteriophage, like a virus infect a bacteria, because apparently they have the ability to view it under a microscope. And if that's true, I've never seen a virus under a microscope. So if this is true, I just asked her if we could like maybe set this up and do this. But yeah, I just want to let y'all know that about viruses. And I think viruses have a very peculiar origin. I think viruses, from a religious perspective, could have came from some of the genetic manipulation in Genesis 6. And you can also use these little plasmids, right? They're non-living, but you basically can use these plasmids and then inject them into DNA to insert new DNA strands. And interestingly about viruses, they will basically inject their DNA, and in the lysogenic phase of the viral reproduction, so they have viruses that are lysogenic, which will basically insert their DNA into the host, and then it gets kind of created forever, and people will have these outbreaks. There's also a lytic cycle, which simply just inserts the DNA, and then that gets reproduced. The virus gets reproduced, and then it leaves the cell, but it doesn't incorporate with the genome. Now, in some cases, it does incorporate with the genome. So it's very interesting, like the overlap between plasmids and using plasmids to alter DNA, and then viruses' ability to alter DNA. So I think some of that could have got introduced from a religious perspective in the Genesis 6 genetic manipulation. But yeah, I'm asking you if I can actually view one under a microscope, just because I'm curious to see it myself. Like I want to see it too. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of throw that in there about viruses.
Well, I want to get to Leland and then Sheepdog, but I do want to say to that. So clearly, a lot of the things you're saying are at least over my head. But I mean, I get the gist of it. But I
Not
will tell you,
mine.
I will. I know, Sheep. I know. But so I will say this: we had Dr. Tom Cowan on our show. We talked about it just last week, not today's episode, but the one before that. We had the guy from Princeton on with a PhD, and he was talking about how he looked into it. And what I will say from all the research I've done is everything you said is a whole lot of steps to try to identify something that we can supposedly sneeze across the room onto someone else, or that goes through our veins and goes all these places. No one has ever isolated a virus and seen it alive under a microscope, to my knowledge, and I've talked to many doctors about this, and it has not happened. Not only that, there's experiments in I think 1914 where they literally were taking something from sick people and injecting it into well people. And again, as far as I know, there is no experiment to this date who has made a well person sick by using anything from a sick person. That tells me that there are no viruses as they claim they are. There's something. Our body puts out exosomes, our bodies detox. There's a lot of stuff. Right now, my body's going through something. I'm detoxing a lot of crap. I've been through a lot of stress lately. There's a lot of things. They're constantly being poisoned. There's a lot of things. But every time they try to isolate a virus, they're like, well, we had to take some cells from a monkey kidney and put them in, and then we did this and we did that. If a virus is something that we can sneeze across the room and we have to stand 6 feet apart and that it's on things at the store, there is zero reason that you cannot show me a live virus under a microscope. And there is also zero reason that you cannot take a Q-tip, because that's how they test for it, stick it up a sick person's nose, stick it in a well person's nose, and then they're sick 100% of the time. Period. If you can't do that, there are no viruses and there is something else, and they're covering it up. And again, there's a lot of overlap. Every time you look at viruses and cells and all that, it's always cartoons, just like space is. It's all a bunch of bullshit. And if you can't prove it to a common person, if you can't explain it in a simple way, it's because you don't understand it and you don't know it. And none of them can do that. Period.
I agree with you, Ted. I agree. And I don't want to be combative, and I'm not really that passionate about this topic. I was saying, would it be cool, like, if I tried to get a picture? Well, viruses are not living, like, they need a host, which is also interesting. I understand. um, Need a host to reproduce. I think that there's some weird stuff going on there. I do 100%. But
Oh,
Hey,
what
your
if I was able to
education
get a
level
picture of
is
a
way
virus?
above mine, but I know that Sheepdog knows a lot of this because he has a
I
lot
just
of
want to ask
experience in this.
I just want to ask a few questions before Taylor goes, but Leland can go first.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
Hey, I just wanted to say real quickly, if you guys aren't familiar with Dr. Tom Cohen, he's totally worth looking into and reading his books. He's the one that taught me that viruses are fake.
Yeah, he's a little dry, I will say. When he was on the podcast, love him. I don't know how we got him on the podcast, but like in the first 2 minutes, we were talking to him and he's like,
Time traveler.
Death shows up and he's like, so your name's Death? And we were like, yeah, like the movie, like Bill, Ted, Rufus, and Death. And he's like, oh. And that's how we started. But in the
Well,
end, it was
I'm
very
on to them,
awesome.
Ted. I'm on to them, and I want to see this virus under the microscope. So I'm going to set out on a mission to do that.
Oh,
Is that cool?
please do. And please stay in touch and let us know,
Yeah.
because as much as I want you to do that, I know how it's going to end for you. And we will all be here for you when you never, ever, ever get to see that.
Okay, and if I do, then what?
Oh, if you do, please tell me, because I have a. Listen, people always say people like you can't change your mind. I was atheist for 35 years. I thought the world was a globe for 30 something years. I thought viruses were real. I used to be like, ew, that person's sick, stay away. when I wish I could go back to that, but I can't. I cannot, because when you look at the meat of it, and no one has ever made, and Tom Cowan taught me to say it this way very well. You can't say they've never transferred a virus. You have to say no one has ever made a well person sick by using anything from a sick person ever in any lab setting, just like they've never isolated gravity, just like all of these things they tell us are complete bullshit. And I wish I could go back to being ignorant. Ignorance is 100% bliss. But once you see this stuff, I cannot believe now that if someone sneezes on me, I'm going to get sick when I know they injected mucus in people's veins and they didn't get sick. I just can't anymore.
Yeah, his book is really good. It's called what's it called? The Contagion Myth, or the Myth of Contagion? Contagion Myth.
Yep, the contagion myth. But Sheepdog, what were you going to say on that?
I'm on to him. I want to try to figure this out.
Do you want to let Leland go first? I mean, it's only probably about 5 minutes of conversation. I just don't want to overstep my.
Well, was it on this specific subject? I mean,
Yeah.
I have no clue what Leland was going to talk about. But Leland, if it's not on this specific thing,
I'm going backwards, so let's let Sheepdog cook.
Awesome, man. Thank you. I
Oh my God, we
appreciate
sound
that.
the same.
Go ahead, Sheep.
He literally sounds just like me.
I know. I didn't know who was talking for sure.
All right, Taylor, real quick. So since we're kind of like in that general area of subject of viruses, so I'm sure you know what hydroxychloroquine is primarily used for, correct?
I've done a bit of research on it, not very much, but I know the gist of it, right? Isn't it an antiviral?
Yeah, for
No?
malaria. It's mainly used for
Okay.
malaria. It's created for malaria. It's mainly used for malaria. Do you know what the off-label uses are for it?
Hydroxychloroquine? Was it
Uh-huh.
SARS?
Well, yes, but specifically before SARS, what was it used for? And this is going to
The
shock you.
flu? Was it the flu?
Nope,
Or
no viruses.
hydroxychloroquine?
It's used
Oh
for
gosh.
autoimmune diseases. It's used for
Huh.
lupus, HIV, and rheumatoid arthritis.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's supposed to retard the transcription process of out of control cells, like cells that are mutated. It's supposed to retard that process and make when it transcribes the RNA or the DNA, the ending product doesn't fully complete, so it misses like 10 or 20 links, and then the mutation is severely skewed, and the cell dies quicker than normal. It doesn't have a chance to reproduce. I forget what the uh, ivermectin does. Ivermectin does something else, but it's in the same process.
Wasn't it
It
anti-parasitic or something?
no. It prevents it's anti-parasitic, but it prevents the transcribed mutation DNA or RNA from entering the cell.
Okay.
So that's why those two work together really well. One prevents, so that's why it kills it off faster. One prevents the RNA from entering the cell. The other one prevents the RNA from completion. So think about that, right? That's one weird thing. So, but it's used in autoimmune diseases. What's the most common? Um, what are the three most common side effects of vaccines?
Are
Death
you
is
talking about at onset or like
Uh, uh,
much later?
just overall over a long period of time, all vaccines have the
Um,
same three characteristics. Like you can get like mild issues, like site
the
injury and things
bar
like that.
syndrome.
But so autoimmunity is one of them. Immunogenicity is the second one, and oncogenesis is the third one.
Yeah, that's
Those are the
cancer.
yeah, those are the three most
which
common.
is cancer,
Yeah,
oncogenesis. Yeah.
yeah, those are the three. All vaccines share those three side effects. Every single one of them. And then what was it? Oh gosh. Oh, just to kind of dumb it down for everybody out there listening. So a virus, what they call a virus, is just an RNA strand, and your cell has ribosomes that split open your DNA, and then you have transcription DNA and messenger, or transcription RNA and messenger RNA, that they transcribe the virus, the RNA strand, right? And then they try to link it with the DNA strand, and then they make copies of it, right? Like, oh, okay, this goes here. They just replicate, 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 replicate. That's how a virus is made. So if you really want to think about it, all a virus is a facsimile. It's a copying machine. Like your cell is the copying machine, and the virus is just the paper that you're making a copy of. That's all it is. I don't know how to get it simpler than that. So thank you, Taylor, for staying up there and answering some questions.
That was a lot of knowledge dropped right there. Whoa. So, Leland, it's your turn now. Everybody needs to digest that a little bit. And I was just literally, while I was muted, I was telling my wife, like, while Sheep and Taylor are talking, I'm like, it amazes me how smart some of the people are who talk in these spaces, and that everyone just blanketly calls us stupid, which is absurd. If they would take the time to not come in here abrasively and actually listen, they would see that no one in here is stupid. Nobody. So
I
yeah.
agree.
But Leland,
Yeah,
what were
y'all
you
do
gonna
a
say?
lot of
Oh,
research.
sorry.
I want to just
Yeah.
applaud y'all for that. You
My,
know, they don't really teach you things like, you know, some of these things, whenever you're getting they just teach like kind of basics, fundamentals. And like in med school, like one thing that I always complained about, I was laughing about, I was like, do they ever teach y'all the side effects and stuff? And like, no, like they do, but it's not as heavily as like the benefits, you know, these drugs. And they definitely don't talk about many like naturopathic things. But I'm really
Hey,
big into naturopathic things. Like I have a whole like naturopathic medicine cabinet.
hey, Taylor, if you ever want to hook up and have a conversation about biology, I'm always down for it.
That sounded super creepy, Sheep. I'm
yeah,
just
I'll be
saying.
in that space.
About biology. I'm just
I'll
kidding,
be in
man.
that. I'll be in that space too.
Yeah, go
Hey,
ahead,
but
Leland.
I has no brain. I
No
has
homo.
no
No
brain. We're
homo.
all stupid. Yeah, no homo. Hey, one more thing, bro.
Yeah, I got a question for you, Taylor. Have you looked into anything about fasting on this germ?
Is
Whatever.
anybody talking?
You can't
Yeah,
hear me?
Brian, she can't hear you. Might
Probably
have
because
to
I didn't
drop
interrupt him.
down. But
Ryan asked you, Taylor, if you looked into anything about fasting.
Fast food?
No.
fasting. Fasting,
Oh
Fasting.
like
yeah, fasting can increase your lifespan by turning on the longevity genes by influencing DAF3 and DAF16. That's well known. It's one of the few things that can has been known to increase longevity.
Boy, you tell that to people and they call you crazy. She can't
No,
hear.
it's
Damn it.
proven.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, this happened last night. I couldn't hear somebody, and I was pretty happy I couldn't hear that dude. Then out of nowhere, I start hearing him again. I'm like, oh God, I don't want to, but no, I want to hear you, Brian. Yeah, no, that's actually proven.
that's yeah, that it's there's just like grounding. There's science on it, fasting, there's science on it. People just want to dismiss it, but people were around a long time before this new medicine that's all petroleum based, and people did way better and lived much more happy and fulfilled lives. But once again, Leland, what did you have to say? We got to
Oh
wrap
man,
up
I'm gonna
soon.
take
So
it way
Leland,
back.
it's
I was
on.
at. How do I sound of it? I'm in my truck right now, so it might sound a little wonky, but
You sound fine, man.
thank you. So my original question was: when you focus the moon or the stars and other objects in the sky, they stay in focus when you move it around the sky, which seems to violate a whole bunch of laws of light. And I'm not a photographer. Let me just say that, but I know, man, I should back up. I wanted to say, I thought this would be easier. I'm practicing for Friday, but the whole squad's up in here. You guys, much love, much love. Whew.
Dude, I'm in my pajamas pacing around my kitchen. Take a deep breath. Just hang out and talk, man. We're just all people here to talk. That's it.
I know, and then my original thought. Now, man, you guys are dropping so much gravy. It's just beautiful. I love being in these spaces with y'all. But my question, I guess, is anybody that knows how to do optics and doing the telescopes and the P1000, 900, whatever. When you focus something and you change to something that's supposedly a million whatever light years or million miles light years, however far away, it should not be in focus. Something that kind of hangs me up, and I wonder if anybody can address that, like globies. Because
None of it makes sense, man. None of it, like Taylor was saying
Love to
before,
address it.
that people shouldn't, like, they need to really think about that 6 months apart we should be seeing totally different stars, because the sun's supposed to be, we're supposed to be on the other side of the sun in our pattern of spinning in the day and night. We should be looking at completely different stars. So none of the stuff they said makes sense. Also, if all of these stars are millions of light years or billions of light years apart, why do they all look generally the same size and the same brightness? They make up all kinds of nonsense about this. All they do is try to confuse you and not get you to pay attention to your senses. The things I always like to ask people when they're like, oh, you're a flat earther, you're crazy. Just say two things. Have you ever seen the curve with your own eyes? Well, no. Have you ever felt the earth move? Well, no. Welcome to flat earth.
yeah, those
You've
are two
never
things.
seen the curve and you've never
Lack of
felt it
measurable
move.
motion and curvature is kind of what I lean to when I have the conversation. But a lot of people just still, they just don't get it. And so I've given up on talking to. You can tell when you bring it up once, you're like, yeah, we're done. But
Yeah,
So there's
what
a
the
couple
size
other
of
people down there. One second, sorry. There's a couple other people down there with requests, but I can't add anybody else up because all the mics are full. So, and also we got to wrap up soon. So if there's anybody
I'll
who's
drop, buddy. I'll drop.
yeah, I don't
I'll
want to
drop
take
it.
too much more time. Just much love, everybody. Lily,
oh no, man,
Sheep,
you're
Nick,
good. You're good. You
Taylor,
just
man,
came up.
everybody. You guys.
So real quick, how long have you been a flat earther? How long have you been awake?
Well, flat earther since probably 2020. I was obviously 9/11 never made sense and all the other shit. But the COVID really kind of shook me. And I was like, well, let me look into this other weird stuff that I didn't consider before. I just always thought was crazy. And now it's like, oh, the crazy stuff is the truth. So that's kind of weird. But talking to people that
Yeah,
don't
but
get
it
it
always
yet,
it always comes it always comes back to the crazy stuff is what we naturally know and can feel and see. That's
right,
the crazy stuff. That's how they've convinced us that the stuff we know instinctively is what's crazy, but what they're telling us is sane, and
right. Common
that's
sense.
Satan to me.
Yeah, common sense. Yeah, it's inversion. It's inversion.
Hey Ted,
So,
real quick,
yeah,
real quick. How do you know how far Polaris is?
no, and I don't care. No, I'm just kidding. No,
430, 433 light years. Do you know how many miles that is?
I don't know,
You're
but
gonna
I heard a 33, so that's all I needed to hear.
2.5 quadrillion miles.
Now you're just making up words. Quadrillion, bro. Come on.
So yeah,
Who can fathom that, dude?
back to that giant abacus that I
Sounds
asked
like
about. How did
sounds
you
like
measure
a
that, bro?
glober to me. Sounds like a freaking globe.
Do you know how long a
Sa-
light year is?
31,000 hours. I don't remember how many. How long?
What about you, Rufus? You know how long a light year is?
it's
This
it's the
this is a unit of measurement. Like if I would
measures
say
how far of a distance a light can travel in 1 year.
no,
It's
no,
it's really just made up though.
Yeah.
no,
Honest.
it's basically like if I said, "Hey, man, I went a mile," I wouldn't say, "Hey, I went 5,280 feet." I just say I went a mile. So that's what a light year is. It's referring to something in reference to miles. It's a unit of measurement, and they said it's measured out at 5.88 trillion miles.
For
Our
1
national debt's larger.
Yeah. So what's the big deal, bro?
That's
You're
the
making
one. That's the
you're
one road
making
hat.
mountains out of molehills, dude. Come on, that's
Well,
no big
I'm
deal
scared.
at all.
afraid of big numbers, or I don't understand them, or something. I don't know, man. But somebody got a tape measure that's pretty freaking long. That's all I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying, man. How'd you measure that, bro?
How'd you measure that?
Really good
Our national
science.
debt,
That's how.
our national debt is 7 light years.
Yeah,
Dude.
it's all
Yeah,
made up anyway. It's just
That's
numbers on
hilarious.
a computer.
in an argument with the globe, you just ask them about how the distance around the Earth and how far it is, and then when they don't know, tell them to shut the fuck up and go learn something, and then
Move on. Go lick balls. That's what you guys do anyway. But so Run Boston Bear has his hand up. He hasn't had a chance to talk yet. We got to wrap up soon, but he hasn't spoke at all yet. So what's up, man? How's it going?
Hey, brother. As long as I'm not jumping over anybody, I just saw you were running the space, and I was super excited to just see all the legends in the house. And actually, this is going to make y'all laugh. Usually, when I get on Spaces and Flat Earth Friday, like I, pray with my wife, and I say, "Okay, I'll see you later." And she knows this. She's always like, "Oh, you're going to come to bed what 3 or 4 o'clock," which is wild. And I'm like, "No, no, it's not going to be that late this time. It'll be like I'm going to shoot for like 2." But she's very supportive, and it is usually 3 or 3:30 because things are just really going. So what I just did was I was like, hey, look, these are my friends. This is how Spaces works. This is how how you do the emotional like emojicons or whatever to make like thumbs up. And I was explaining like, oh, look, Leland's on. So the last guy that spoke, Leland, I met him at Flattoberfest, the one that just happened, and he was like, man, I wanna talk on Flat Earth Friday, but I kind of get nervous, and I don't know, man. And I encouraged him. I was like, no, dude, just request, get a mic. Everybody's nervous in the beginning. Just give it a shot. You'll love it. And so I shot him this space just a few hours ago. And then when I came in, I was like, look, it's Leland. And I got to hear him. So that was epic. But yeah, man, just showing my wife the ropes of Spaces and all you guys, and letting you pointing out Taylor and her education, because my wife's a physician. Taylor, she's a sports medicine family med doc that's waking up to flat earth, and she's a flat earther now. She understands biblical cosmology, which that was a big jump for her, a big step to like walk away from the indoctrination or just the process that the world pushed on her. But she cares more about what the creator made than what man has told her whole life. And then now she's in the process of moving away from mainstream medicine to like a direct primary care where she can treat people and love on people and help them properly with the real time. So I wanted to ask you something, because Taylor, you just mentioned homeopathic approach. So, if somebody, let's just ask this, if somebody has dry heels and they are used to putting Vaseline or a petroleum-based product on their heels, and this is really for anybody on the panel, what do you put on dry heels rather than that big pharma crap to moisturize it and help it not be dry?
Some
Yeah,
Coconut
so I did.
oil.
You can
What'd you
try
s-
some coconut oil, some castor oil.
I did some research on the best like natural like lotions or whatever for and I made my own lotion and I made my own toothpaste. But anyway, let's see, what was it? Vitamin E, vitamin A. Okay, so wheat germ for vitamin E, rose hips for vitamin A, and then grapeseed oil was another really good one, I think, for vitamin
and you like
maybe C.
you
So
mix this
vitamin C,
stuff
E, and
up,
A. So grapeseed, rose hip, and wheat germ.
and that's like a
Yeah,
topical thing you make and you rub on the heel?
yeah, you can just get extracts and then mix them
Wow.
together.
Oh, run,
Man,
Boston Bear.
Run.
Let me just.
Let me add one thing if
go
I could,
ahead.
Lily.
Go
Hold on.
ahead.
On the cracked heels run, internally, because I'm a break away from medical technology. I was in nutraceuticals for 20 some years. The most important thing to take would be B5, vitamin B5, or pantothenic acid, or decalcium pantothenate if you can get it. It will help support the adrenals, which is what causes severe heel cracks. That's one thing you need to take internally.
Wow.
Anecdotally, I'm not a doctor, but there you go.
Hey, that's awesome. And I'm gonna let my wife say hi, because I mean she supported me for 2.5 years on this awakening journey to all the deceptions. And I don't know, I just want you to hear her voice. She's gonna say hi. Hey, y'all.
Mrs. JT.
Hello.
Hi, Mrs. JT. Hey, Mrs. JT, if you can take some jojoba oil, jojoba, technically it's not an oil, it's a liquid wax. And then if you melt a little bit of beeswax into it, try and get some really good local beeswax at your farmer's market or something. And because beeswax is an amazing healer. So if you just melt some jojoba, the reason I like jojoba is that it never becomes rancid because technically it's not an oil, it's a liquid wax. So you could take something like jojoba, take a little bit of cocoa butter, melt a teeny bit of beeswax into it, and then you could use your favorite essential oil in there, like maybe real lavender oil, something completely natural. Make sure it's from a health food store, from, make sure it's real essential oil and not a synthetic. And you could look up the proportions, or you could contact me. I can give you proportions. I've been making all this stuff for decades. Anyways, but that would be really good. But what you also need to do is just soak your feet in warm water, not hot, but warm water, and then take like a pumice stone or whatever and gently rub off the dead skin. Because the reason you get cracked heels is that the dead skin is stuck to the live skin, and then the dead skin starts to contract, and then it pulls, because it contracts on the very top layer, it pulls the live skin and cracks it. But if you get rid of the dead skin, the live skin underneath, because remember, skin is just, it's being formed like almost daily, like it's just forming all the time. So you get rid of the dead skin with a gentle pumice, and just be gentle though. And then rub this, what I told you, the beeswax is really important. But you could also add the cocoa bean, cocoa butter, and also a base of jojoba. Or you could just do it with jojoba and beeswax or whatever. You could use your intuition or contact me. But I'll tell you, this will completely get rid of the cracked heels.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. This is what I love so much about the flat earth community right here, is that flat earth is just, we always call it the skeleton key or whatever, but like honestly, I'm almost past flat earth. I'm more trying to teach that to people because I know it opens you up to everything else, but there's so many more important things. But listen to what had here. We've had Taylor talking about working with PhD physicists, looking at stars. We've talked about natural healing. We've talked about all kinds of stuff, and that's only because for most of us, because we become awake to flat earth, and that has opened our eyes to everything, especially me. I'm a perfect example. Like, my favorite thing is when people ask me, well, why would they lie? I'm like, I am the epitome of the example because I was an atheist my entire life. So I know exactly why they lie, because once I found out, my entire life changed, everything. And it's just, everyone needs to at least, I don't care if you think the earth is flat. I don't care what shape you think it is. Just look at what people are saying and look into what a lot of these flat earth people are saying and see that it's all about a different way of looking at things. And once you do that, there's no stopping you from realizing the earth is flat at all, because it naturally leads there. Just like that dude Mark Gober we just had on, went to Princeton. He was in college, everything, magna cum laude, all of it. And then he started looking into just consciousness, and consciousness led him to the World Economic Forum, and the World Economic Forum led him to viruses, and viruses led him to cosmology. And now he's a full-on flat earther. Went through the whole system and broke away from it. And it's just amazing to see these people wake up. And it all comes down to realizing that everything you've ever been taught is a lie, and there's a reason they lie to you. It's to hide who you are and what you can do. And once you realize that, life becomes better. Everything around you is still shit. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of stuff's really shitty right now, but my life's great because I know the world I'm living in and what it is. But everybody, we love you so much. I know Rufus has family stuff to do. Bill already dropped out because his daughter's sick. We really got to wrap this up. Trap Gravity, I'm sorry. I know you had your hand up, but you got a chance to speak. And Taylor, like, if any of you want to say Trap Gravity or Taylor, say something
Hey,
real
so
quick. We can do it,
just
and then
check your DMs. I'll be quick with it. Check your DMs. Look at the
absolutely.
1918 Spanish flu. Look at the 2020 COVID. Look at who fucking created it. Same person. Also, I didn't know you were a Q person. I
Who,
followed you.
me?
Yeah, are you Q? You said something.
No, I'm not anything. I think there's some interesting stuff. I definitely think it's
I've
stupid
been
to
there
ignore
since
it because there's tons of links,
61. The
but I don't
61.
trust any of them. None of them. Not a single one.
Well, you got to
So,
realize, hey, you got to do your deep dive on it. You got to realize that there's a Q group, and that's above Navy SEALs. All right, so you got Navy SEALs, then they take the Navy SEALs, and then you can go to Q school. And then once you go to Q school, that's where you get into the super intelligence, right? That's where the intelligence is at.
oh, dude,
Facts.
that's what I have Bill for. Bill knows all of it. I literally, so when we
Well,
went
I'm
into
telling you
this,
right now.
in order to be fair, Bill and I went, okay, I'm going to look at it from a skeptical point of view, and you're going to ride the wave and see what happens. And I'm not, I don't think any of them are good. But if you're asking me right now if I'm a fucking Democrat, the answer is absolutely no. And I think all
No,
those
I
people are
definitely don't
insane.
think you're a Democrat.
So
No, no,
no.
indeed.
So if I have to lean one way, and if I didn't think everything in this world was a psyop, then yes, absolutely Trump. And Q is a real thing. I don't know if it's good or bad, but to
No, I
dismiss
didn't
it
say
and
shit
say
about
it doesn't
Trump. I'm just
exist,
talking about the military in control.
yeah, but I don't know any of them either. And I have a problem with trusting anybody I haven't seen face to face. So I'll believe it when I see it. That's all I'm saying.
Hey,
I'll be
Trap.
very quick. Go
And
ahead.
Taylor, sorry, I'm going to drop down immediately. I wanted to thank everybody for the little tips that you gave. My wife was taking notes in a notepad, writing all the stuff down. Lily, we'll connect and talk about it. Ted and just the whole podcast crew, man, y'all are doing awesome stuff. Amazing. Like the bravery to put your voice and your face out there. It's just really, it helped me to wake up and let go of a lot of the inversions and deceptions. So I know you got to wrap it up. I love you all more than you know. We are all family. We are friends. When you walk away from the darkness towards the light and towards the higher vibration and towards the Creator, amazing healing begins and connections are made that last, the rest of our lives. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for not being scared to look into things because you have to be able to look and ask questions or you're not being human. And so thank you. I'm gonna drop down. Love y'all. Peace.
And awesome. And thank your wife for coming on and speaking too. And thank you. And you, if you ever want to come on our podcast and talk, you have an open invitation. Just DM me. I want to pick your brain about a lot of stuff. You need to get me running. So we need to talk about that. So let's get into it, man.
That was
Got
something
you,
I
bro.
forgot. I hate to interrupt. What's the name of that podcast so I can get on it,
The Phone
please?
Booth Podcast.
The s- the
The
phone
Phone
booth?
Booth
Oh, yes,
Podcast.
I
Yes.
have seen that. The phone booth. Duh. Thanks, guys.
No problem, man.
Okay.
So
And
Taylor,
I've
real
been
quick,
trying to
and then we
drop
got to
down and
wrap
I
this
can't
up.
figure out how. I'm not good at Twitter. So,
It's cool,
Okay.
man. Don't worry about it. We're wrapping up in a second. You don't have to
uh,
drop down.
I'll
awesome.
be very quick. I just want to say
Much love, guys.
I put two papers up in the chat about the health benefits of grounding. These are peer reviewed papers. And I also want to say, yeah, I that dude you were talking about graduated magna cum laude. I graduated magna cum laude. I actually got the Academic Excellence Award for doing the best in the biology program, and you guys are still teaching me stuff. So that just shows that you guys, love to learn. Always love to learn. Absolutely. Thank you guys a lot. And I'll answer any questions about biology. I don't really care. But yeah, y'all are great.
You should set up your own space sometime and just let people come in and ask you stuff because you clearly have an open mind. And honestly, that's rare going through a lot of college. And I think part of that has to do with you said you grew up religious. I think maybe that's what
I did not grow
instinct.
up religious.
Oh,
My
so what'd you
family's not
say?
religious at all. Just my own
You
independent research.
so but you are now religious or no?
Oh, I'm not religious because the
Well,
Bible doesn't
I hate to
promote
use
religion.
that.
But
Sorry,
yes,
but
I just believe in the Bible. Yeah,
the Bible.
the
Yes,
Bible
sorry.
says God's tired of their religious congregations in the Bible, and true and perfect religion is to care for others.
I totally agree. All right, the
So I don't go to any
closer.
church.
Real quick
No.
before we wrap up, the closer. I know you, man. I want to let you talk real quick. I don't want to be a dick. So, what you got to say?
Oh, I pinned up in the top. Uh, gay is caused by parasites.
All right, man.
Right on. That's
Thanks
the
for that.
closer.
I can
Dude,
I can neither confirm nor deny that, but I'm definitely gonna look at it.
Hey, Ted Rufus, thank you for the mic, bro. I know you're getting ready to wrap it up. One of these days, man, hey, I'll DM you. You guys want to have a psyop conversation? Um, I'm a source, bro. Like I'm very well versed in that. I'm still a flat Earth student, um, and I'm not shy about that. I don't mince words about it. There are things that if I don't know what I'm talking about, dude, I'm not going to talk. But we can get into some psyop stuff, dude. You guys ever want to do that? Let me know. Thank you for giving me the mic, man. Thank you for holding the party. I'm glad you guys are safe, and have a great night.
Dude, we do want to. And no matter how, we're not big, but no matter how big we get, I don't care who the name is and what followers they have. I want to talk to people that are interesting to talk to. And maybe that's not the smartest thing to do if you want a successful podcast, but I don't really care because the only reason we started this was to talk to cool people. So that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, you want to
Hell
come
yeah.
on Monday, dude? We'd love to have you.
Well, I appreciate that, guys, and absolutely, man. I'll hit your DMs. It doesn't have to be. I mean, it's just whatever, man. You guys, it is what it is. Everybody's got IRL stuff going on, but I would love to, and I would obviously, we can talk in the back channel. I prepare for it, but yeah, that's my niche. Like it's literally my niche, dude. Psyops and government propaganda, buddy.
Two things. One, never prepare. Never prepare. I used to prepare. It fucks you up. Just come in
Yeah,
raw, man.
it's
And
much more.
also, I'm pretty sure we're booked out till December, and I can't even believe I'm saying those words, but definitely get with one of us, and we will hook it up. And Rufus, do you want to say anything else before we close out?
No, I just wanted to say, love you guys. Thanks for showing up. I could go all night. I'm being summoned by the old lady to help out with bedtime here, but just appreciate you guys showing up, and I love talking about this stuff with y'all and trying to figure it out because we don't have the answers and we're just all trying to piece this together. But love you guys. You guys take care of your families. Love your families too. Don't let this shit ruin your relationship. If all you can do is plant a little seed and maybe at some point revisit it down the road or let it grow, but your relationships are the most important thing, and it really doesn't matter what other people in your family believe. You're still family and you love each other.
Exactly. And I will say this, that I don't care if Globies clip this up. Like, one of the things about coming on Twitter was meeting all these awesome people and realizing that this many good people can't be so wrong about this. So it's definitely something that only, I'm not saying everyone who's a flat earther, everyone who's awake is a great person. We're all on our own path. I can tell you, I'm a better person than I was before. And I've yet to meet someone who's truly a flat earther who's an asshole or who took the vaccine or who did any of that. So I have to believe that if the good people are on this path, we're all on the right path. And I just want to thank everybody so much for coming tonight. And I wish we could go longer, but I'm old. I got work early and I still got shit to do. So thank you everybody so much for coming, and we'll start holding these more. And thank you everybody for speaking and for having the nerve to come up and speak. And the people who didn't, thank you for listening. We appreciate you so much. Love you all. Good night, everybody.
Peace.